106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hey guys, it is Wednesday. What does it say here? Wednesday, April 9th. It is Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe. It's going to be a really fun show tonight. You may have noticed I haven't been around YouTube much at all lately. I've been I don't want to do the show right now. I'm going to do it. We're going to have a great time. But dude, I was relaxing just now. I'm a little bit late. But Jericho's always later. He is darker than me. You know, he's the black guy. He's a little bit late. But I finished 120 pages of dialogue for Empyrean. I know we've been talking about Empyrean for a long time. It's going to be done. It's going to be done. I finished the lettering for that today. The way I write script is when I write the script for all these comic books that I'm making, I don't write dialogue really at all. Sometimes I'll write a little bit because I need to tell the story to myself or the illustrator, whoever is drawing it, if it's me or someone else I'm working with. But I don't want to put the words in until after I see the finished art. And then I improv it, just like Jericho and I improv our jokes and all the stuff we do on here. I improv it, and it's so much nicer because you write the idea for the page. Then you do the drawing of the page, or you hire someone to do it, whatever. And then that changes a little bit, the way they interpret the concept. And then what I do is I put the script up on one computer screen, and I put the art in front of me, and I just look at it and go, okay, this is what's supposed to happen here. I'm supposed to convey this concept. He's doing that. She laughs. Oh, that's interesting that Akion added a laugh there. That's good. And then I can add a joke or add a this or add a that. So it's really fun. So congratulations to me. It's been almost 2 weeks. Well, I guess I started last Monday. So it's been just over a week. Just over a week because I took the weekend off. Well, somewhat took the weekend off. And 120 pages. It's a masterpiece. It's really fun. It's heartfelt. It's thrilling. It is everything you want from Star Wars and Interstellar and not Star Trek. Not a fan of Star Trek. Star Trek is too nerdy. I'm sorry, but it just is. It's interesting. It's compelling. It's just something about people that really like Star Trek. They really like it. I'll put it that way. So it's been nice though to be away from YouTube. To be honest with you guys, I'm very torn on social media, as you guys know. I'm a good speaker. I can do this easily. I don't have a script. I don't need notes or anything like that. I can just speak extemporaneously. But I hate the algorithm, guys. I hate it so much. I hate it. Because all it wants you to do is hate. All that YouTube and Twitter, all that rewards is fighting. And we all get on our phones. We see, man, environmentalist, feminist, Trump, whatever. And we just see back and forth fighting. And I'll contribute a little, and I'll get a reaction, and then I'll get paid from YouTube and Twitter and all those things. And I hate what they want me to do. Because the videos that I want to do, I don't think YouTube really wants you to do it. I think they want you to insult people and be mean and have a hot take and all this shit. And, I'm an adult. I deal with reality on reality's terms. So I just tell you, it's nice to take a break from that. I can only complain so long about woke Snow White and woke video games and woke movies and music and comics. Oh my God, I'm so fucking tired of talking about it. I'm so tired of it. If I had my druthers, which nobody knows what druthers are exactly, but if I had my druthers, whatever these things are, I would just write comics and draw them, and I wouldn't give hot takes on the internet. And I hate it. How do you guys feel about it? I hate it so much. The only thing I like about the social media is you guys, joking around with you guys, and of course my brother Jericho, who's late, but he's at football practice. He just texted me about a minute or two ago that he was on his way. He was on his way from football practice. So I hate it. I hate the hot takes. I hate the fighting. Now, I mean, I agree with crapping all over wokeness, but I would rather be a man of action and actually make good entertainment instead of just complaining about it all the time. Oof. Michael Coulter, longtime channel member, the great Michael Coulter, from down in, you're in New Orleans, you're down there, Louisiana, something like that, right? You're down the south somewhere. Maybe you're in Florida. You're somewhere down there. I heard that Disney is looking to replace Rachel Zegler, my girl Sydney Sweeney. Whatever. It doesn't matter who they get, as long as the people with the levers of control, the people who are the editors and the managers and the casting directors and the executives, as long as they are playing into the woke agenda, it doesn't matter who they hire, because the thing about entertainment, since I worked as an employee for Warner Brothers, and you're desperate to work for these big companies, you're young, you're plucky, you're starry-eyed, and you want to work for DC Comics like me and Marvel and Superman and Batman, and it's such validation for you as an artist. You are one of the elite, one of the few dozen people in the world that does this for a living. Think of how elite that is. Think of, am I getting a nosebleed? It was actually hot here in San Diego today, and hot in San Diego is like 75. But yeah, I had to bust out my fan. But you're one of the elites. You're one of the elite, and they play that against you. It's like when you date a horrible person, but they're super hot, right? Guys, hot, crazy women, right? They're bad. They cheat on you. They waste all your money. They lie about where they are. Their battery died on their phone, but they're hot, right? That's how it is working for the big companies when you're young and dumb. And you put up with shit and you put up with nonsense, and you get old and you realize, like, hey man, I have this thing called dignity. I have these things called boundaries. I shouldn't be doing this. So it doesn't matter if they replace Rachel Zegler with Sydney Sweeney or anyone. It wouldn't matter if they replaced with anyone, because typically the people that want to work in Hollywood and entertainment, they're desperate to be there, and they'll put up with, yeah, I'll make woke, I'll make whatever. Just please let me be in your movies, please. So I don't, until they replace the people who are in power making the woke decisions, that's the only thing that's going to matter. So druthers' preference. Oh, howdy harmonica. I am well aware. I was just funning y'all. Gabe, I'm from Texas. I was close. Texas touches Louisiana. So if you were in Beaumont, Texas, you'd be right on the border, and then I'd be technically almost correct. You're in the land of Buc-ee's, and I'm jealous because I love Buc-ee's. That the XXL barbecue brisket sandwich sliced, their bacon, egg, and cheese croissant breakfast sandwich. Oh, you want to talk about good. Buc-ee's in Texas is one of the greatest institutions in America. Please build a Buc-ee's. You know where they need to build a Buc-ee's, Michael Coulter? They need to build one between my house and my neighbor's house. No, they need to build one between my house and Las Vegas, where I'm always going, always driving out to Vegas. And yes, I drive. I don't fly to Vegas. It is just a 45-minute flight. There's something about driving through the desert that I really like. So I've actually never flown to Vegas, now that I think about it. I think everyone in my family has but me. I'll fly to Colorado or Chicago, places that are further, but I've never flown to Vegas. It's just too close. It's 5-hour drive, man, 4-hour drive. Druthers is a contraction of would rather. Is that really true? Druthers, would rather. Maybe it is. I don't know. Could be. Jericho Green says, yes, he texted me and said he was on his way from football practice. So there you are. I shouldn't even know who Rachel Zimmer is. Rachel Zegler? Yeah, like, why do I even know who this bratty little girl is? I do declare. How good is Val Kilmer in Tombstone? That is one of the performances for the ages. for the ages. Rest in peace, the great Val Kilmer. Holy cow. I watched it last night. I saw Tombstone. Last time I saw it was like 5 years ago. And I remember I think it was the first time I'd ever seen it. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. Somehow I missed it in the 90s. And I remember kind of being iffy on it, not liking it, sort of liking it, whatever. It was so compelling last night. I don't know what was going on when I watched it the first time. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I was on my phone or talking to my wife or messing around. Maybe I was doing something and I wasn't really in it. But last night I was deep in it to my elbows. Damn, that's a good movie. And Val Kilmer, that is one of the performances for the ages as Doc Holliday. And let's see how the poll is doing. I'll put the poll of polls. The poll I never come back to. And let's see. Now, people get prickly about this quote from the movie. Hold on. Share screen. Entire screen. Okay. And it's not there. Why the fuck are you doing this? Okay. Remove. Oh, yeah. Stop screen. There's something up with this stuff. Hold on. Remove from studio. Present. Share screen. Why are you doing this to me? Entire screen. Share the screen, damn it. Okay. Here's the poll. I said, I'll be Huckleberry, Boysenberry, or humorist Dave Barry. Well, right now, Huckleberry's winning. Now, if you put the closed captions on when you watch the movie, it does say Huckleberry, like the food. But everyone you talk to on the internet says it's a Huckleberry, and the huckle's like the handle on a casket. So saying that you would be someone's Huckleberry is someone that's saying, like, I'll be your pallbearer, like I'll carry your coffin. That's what I've heard. Do I know if this is correct? Absolutely not, but I'm willing to repeat it in public. Rumor has it. Isn't it that formerly chunky woman who is now thin? What's her name? Adele. Didn't she have a song called Rumor Has It? That Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio are getting Buc-ee's. Well, not before San Diego. We need a Buc-ee's out here. There's nowhere to put it. Val Kilmer signed a picture of Tombstone for me. Lucky you. Obviously, I didn't know Val Kilmer. Never had the pleasure of meeting the guy, but he had it, man. Because some actors have it and some don't, but he had that it, right? He had that kind of guy. You liked him. And it seemed like he liked everyone and you liked him. And never any scandal or any weird, bad stuff about him. I didn't, at least. And I don't want to. So he just seems like one of those guys, that you like. Let's see. None the miser. She's a little skank who played Snow White. What are you talking? Hey! Don't be calling people little skanks. What are we doing? I thought that was for me. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about? Yeah. So yes, I love this movie. I didn't love it the first time I saw it. It's happened to me a few times. I saw like The Princess Bride. I finally saw it after 30 years of hearing it was the greatest thing in the world, and I was like, no. Then after being here with you guys for 4 hours, I think we went 5 hours that night talking to Jericho about it. It's like, all right, you guys got me. It's a pretty damn good movie. So let's see here. Kara, who sent me a bunch of sweets, thank you, and salty, sweet and salties. How can we call them sweets, but we don't call the other ones salties, right? Because sweets, like, that covers it. That's all of them. But then we don't call like crackers and chips and all the stuff salties. Interesting. Going south on I-69. Why do you guys put the I in front of it when you're talking about it? We don't do that in California. I feel like everyone else goes I-95 and I-60. In California, we say the. So you say the 5, the 405, the 805, the 15. Those are the 78, the 76. Those are all the San Diego ones. The Southern California. But we don't do I. That's very... Another one on the East Coast that I will not abide, that you are all wrong about. If you say this and you're in the chat right now, you're wrong and you need to stop it. If you say you're going to Disney, you are wrong. You are going to Disneyland. You are not going to Disney. You're going to Disney World. You're not going to Disney. There is no Disney. Okay? Stop saying that. It sounds really weird. Okay? Like, hey, we're taking the kids to Disney. No, you're not. You're taking them to Disney World. Or you're taking them to Disney Animal Kingdom. Or you're taking them to Epcot. There's no park called Disney. Okay? Stop doing that, East Coast people. No one here does that. We say Disneyland, like real Americans, right? 69 California. That's odd. Hey, bro, not my style, not my job, not my prob. Yeah. So yeah, what's with saying Disney and what's with saying I? And you don't. And then I think this is a New Yorker thing. You say you stand online, you stand in line. You don't stand online. Online is the internet. You stand in line. And then don't let the Europeans, the British, invade our language or saying you're in the queue. That's British. We don't say queue. We say line. I'm in line. I'm not in the queue. Don't say that, damn it. We defeated them in 1776 for a reason. Carriers in the Midwest put the I in front of highways because we're weird like that. Yeah, and then the Midwest, that needs to end. You're in the Mideast. You look at a map, that is the eastern middle part of America. How in the world did that get called the Midwest? Because when it started getting called the Midwest, everyone knew the whole map. Lewis and Clark had done their thing. The Catholic missionaries had gotten over here from Spain and all that hundreds of years ago. We knew how far California was from the East Coast. So we've been new, as they say, as the kids say. We've been new. We knew that that was not the Midwest of America. That was the Mideast of America. Very strange. There is a store called Disney, though. Was that where you're headed, Mr. Smart Alec? It just, no, to the ears of a person who lives an hour from Disneyland, to hear people suddenly start saying we're going to Disney is like, huh? Like, no, you're going to Disneyland or Disney World. You're not going to Disney. Plus, when someone is the Super Bowl MVP, what do they say? You just won the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning, for the Denver Broncos. What are you going to do next? I'm going to Disneyland. You remember that? They started that in the 80s, I think. Gabe, look up the Midwest versus everybody. I'll take your word for it. We use that in Idaho. We use the I in Idaho too. I'll give it a pass because the state of Idaho starts with the letter I. So that's actually the one exception. Gabe, did you know that the old Route 66 road used to be called Route 666 when they shut it down? Wow, I did not know that. No, the two legendary roads, I believe, are Route 66, which I've driven on plenty. You can take that out of here, out of San Diego, actually. And then the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. It's the one. And so north and south in America is odd, right? So you have the 1, and you have the 5. You got the 10, blah, blah, blah. The 10 is the east and west. I was thinking of Los Angeles. But you have the 15, you have the 405, the 805, all that stuff. And but it starts with the 1 out here. And then you get all the way to the East Coast in Florida and get the 95, right? So it goes across the country. And then it goes south to north. It'll start low number. So down here, the lowest number in San Diego is the 8. There's no 6. There's no 2. There's nothing like that out here. So the 8 freeway goes through the middle of San Diego through Mission Valley. Strangely enough, the 54 is south of the 8. That's weird. Let's see. I've been back and forth with trolls on Facebook about maths versus math. Brits tell me I'm wrong. Last time I checked what the Brits think was something to say. Yeah, if we get Matthew Marsden to come on, he'll talk about doing maths. Did you do spellings too and readings? It's math. There's no S on math, okay? It's not maths. Yeah, it's a weird thing. If I don't denote I-71 in Ohio, I might confuse it with State Route 71. That's an Ohio problem. Ohio. How do they choose the person that dots the I at the football game? You know, when the band comes out and they march and do all the stupid stuff and then they spell it Ohio, and then one little tuba player's like the I on there. How's that guy get picked? Does he get the key to the city? Does he get to marry the semi-attractive Miss Ohio or something like that? What happens to him? Does he get a free wheel of cheese? What do you guys do out there in Ohio? I don't know anything about the Midwest. I know what did they used to say? Like Detroit was the Paris of the West or something like that before the Democrats demolished it. Something like that. Let's see. I looked it up. In 18th century Southern slang, a hucklebearer carries a coffin. Huckleberry is the man you're looking for or a man for the job. Ooh, so that doesn't clarify it. It doesn't clarify it. I hear huckleberry when he says it, like the vegetation, like the fruit. I hear huckleberry. I don't hear hucklebearer, but he does have a southern drawl when he talks in this movie. He's fantastic in this movie. I'm going to go with huckleberry. People will correct you and say hucklebearer, though. Either way. Apparently maths is short for mathematics. Well, that's again, I'm not listening. I'm not taking advice from British people. We kicked them out of here for a reason. Don't they get arrested for Facebook posts over there or something like that? I'm not listening to people like that. No, until they find their huevos, seniority. What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I don't know what you're referring to. Gabe, you just need to know, go blue. My high school's fight song is Hail to the Victors. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun, and that's the same song for Michigan Wolverines and Rancho Bernardo High School here in San Diego. So I do have a little soft spot in my heart for Michigan football. And one of the greatest college victories of all time was Colorado Buffaloes, that's the one I really love because I'm from Colorado, defeating Michigan in the Big House in 1994. Do you remember that, Kara? Do you remember that? You're probably just a babe, probably just a tiny, itty little baby. But the Colorado Buffaloes, the CU Buffaloes, beat Michigan in Ann Arbor on a Hail Mary pass at the last second. It was very nice. 10 minutes away. Shout out my son, Jericho Green, running red lights, texting while driving, sipping on purple drink. You can't be driving like that, Jericho. Come on now. Come on. Another man says my ears are bleeding. Oh, I'll take Michigan all day over Ohio. Please. The Ohio State? Really? No. No. Ramdog is trying to settle the controversy. Let's pronounce things wrong all night. The controversy. I believe the script was written Huckleberry. Kilmer changed it. Ooh. I like Huckleberry better. I do. Everyone knows what a huckleberry is, sort of. It's some sort of berry. I don't know if they're tasty or not. And then you got another Western star that everybody loves, Huckleberry Hound, right? From Hanna-Barbera, you got Huckleberry Hound. So I will say I'll be your Huckleberry. Also, Huckleberry sounds like a fool, right? Huckleberry Hound was kind of a dumbass. So him saying, like, I'll be your fool to Johnny Ringo, that's kind of cool. Saying, I'll be your Hucklebear, like I'm going to carry your coffin to the ground, okay, you're being badass and intimidating. I think Huckleberry fits more with Val Kilmer's depiction of Doc Holliday as the playful, aloof Han Solo, the devil-may-care kind of smile, like that real wild, cool guy that we all love. I think Huckleberry works better than Hucklebearer. So right now, let's see how the vote is going. The vote is, okay, I'll bring it back up. The vote is Huckleberry at 93, Huckleberry, like to bury someone. People from Philadelphia have a bizarre accent. Let me just note this. 99% of words they say with the American standard accent, which is what I have. Completely, this is the neutral, normal American accent. Is we have it in California and Colorado and all that. We don't have an accent. This is just the one you see in movies and TV. But people in Philly, they have an accent on like 3 words. They say bury instead of bury. They say like roof instead of roof of the house. There was another like 2 or 3 that when I hear people say, I'm like, oh, that's Philadelphia. And I learned that from watching The Angry Video Game Nerd for like 20 years. He lives there in Philly, and him and all his buddies, I picked up on like 5 words that the Philly people say with a slight tweak to them. So that's that. Let's see. Huckleberry, Boysenberry, which was created here in Anaheim, California, and Knott's Berry Farm, the amusement park, was Knott's it was a berry farm, literally growing berries and probably growing other fruits. And the boysenberry was a hybrid berry that he bought there. They have some of the original bushes at the amusement park. I was there in December. Their theming is like Snoopy and Charlie Brown, all that. It's a really fun place to take people. It's really fun. A lot of Mexicans. It's about 2-3 miles from Disneyland. It's right there. And it was also a guy named Walt. Like Walt Disney was Walter Knott. There's also a mining town like 3 hours from here called Calico. Calico Ghost Town. It is in the California desert on the way to Las Vegas, right off the 15 freeway. And you can go up there. I've been there once with my wife. I've seen it for years driving to Vegas. I love the idea of Calico Ghost Town. And it's an actual, real, old, historic copper mine, I believe. And you can go in the mine, but it's set up like an amusement park. There's like 20 historical buildings that they've refurbished, and it's, get your ice cream, your soda, your popcorn, get some merchandise or whatever, some souvenirs. And but they kept stuff intact there, and they kept some of these old ramshackle shelters. One guy's house is built out of like stacked stones, and it's from the 1800s. But the owner of the guy Walter Knott, who had Knott's Berry Farm and then turned it into Knott's Berry Amusement Park, he bought and paid for and restored Calico Ghost Town out in the desert. Like 70 years ago, whenever he was doing business. Passed away a long time ago. But that's an interesting historical fact about the Southwest of America. What was I going to say? Okay, none of the mice are trying to stick up for Ohio. OSU put the because it was getting confused with Ohio University. So it had nothing. No. That's bullshit. Nobody does that because every state has the state and then just the name school. So you have California State University and you just have California University. You have Colorado State University and then just Colorado. You have Arizona State and then just Arizona. So don't give me this the. They did it to be pretentious and snobby. Every state has the same problem of the state school and then just the name school. Every school has that. California is crazy, though, because if you think about it, most states, I think pretty much every state has the state, like Ohio State, right? That's one school. When you say California State, there's like many schools, hundreds of miles from each other, and it's one university. There's Cal State Fullerton, Cal State San Marcos, Cal State this, there's so many of them out here. And then you have the California universities, the UC schools, right? So that's California, that's Berkeley, but you have California, Los Angeles, that's UCLA, and you have a bunch of UC. You have UC Merced, you have UC Irvine, you have a bunch of, and it's crazy because it's one college, but it has all these different cities. So it's an interesting thing like that. None of my says it's my alma mater. Hey, that's your problem. I don't like Ohio State. I'm sorry. Them and Notre Dame, flush them in the toilet. No. Notre Dame is probably my most hated sports franchise. I hate them with a passion. Them and the like the Red Sox and the Patriots. I'm a Boston hater. I just hate Boston. The Celtics. Oof. So no, but Ohio State can yeah. UCSD may or not be right by my house. Right. Where's the Salton Sea at? Now, see, people say you're not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition like that, but actually, as a writer, it's actually okay. So don't worry about it. The Salton Sea is 100 miles from here, San Diego, about east. It's like due east of here. And it's a boondoggle. It is something they tried that did not work. So let's see what else we got. Gabe, I love James Rolfe. That's my boy right there. He cracks me up. I still watch his old stuff. Yeah, James Rolfe is the best. My good friend, Craig from Side Scrollers, was the guy that put James Rolfe's stuff on his website, Screw Attack, like 20 years ago. That's where I first saw Cinemassacre and all of Angry Video Game Nerd. I would watch it on screwattack.com, which my buddy Craig Skidimus, he owned that in the past. So I got a connection there. I've never met James. But some of his friends, like Tony from Hack the Movies and Justin Silverman and those guys, I've interacted with them, and Kieran, all those guys that were doing the live or the podcast with him during the lockdown. Yeah, huge fan of Cinemassacre. I think that was the first online videos I watched. Like that was the first stuff I watched. First YouTuber I ever subscribed to was Cinemassacre, and like I said, I watched him a few years before he was on YouTube. I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. Let's see, Michigan State, University of Michigan, Indiana State, Indiana. Right, every state has this. None the miser. So don't try and pull a fast one here. We don't say the Colorado University, the California. Nobody does that. It's pretentious, snobby. And that little jerk in the tuba dotting the I, he knows it too. He knows it. Gabe, you forget I'm originally from Indiana. I did forget that. The Hoosier State. Why do I hate Notre Dame? Because they get too much love and cred that they don't deserve. And they always get ranked highly in their rankings. Then they play cupcakes all year. Then they get their asses blown off in the playoffs because they don't deserve to be there. That's why I hate Notre Dame. They get way too much free credibility. No. San Dimas High School football rules. If you can tell me what band did that song, I know it. Do you know it? In the chat, does anyone know who does the song San Dimas High School football rules? And San Dimas High School, what two gentlemen went to San Dimas High School, and what was the name of their high school band? Come on, you guys have to know this. Where I'm at, it's all about them Longhorns, Hook'em Horns. No, Texans. Sorry, no, I'm not with you on that. Sorry, I'm for college football. It's CU. My son went there. My uncle went there. I went to Northern Colorado. I did not go to CU Boulder because it was an hour and a half from my house where I was living with my wife and my two small children. So I was going to drive all the way to Boulder to go to school. Let's see. I think it's divine retribution for the way they were treated some staff back when I was there. Oh, I don't know. That's not for me. It was Ohio University that recommended it. Well, they're stupid too. But then again, my number 2 team is also Alabama. So with that being said, roll tide, roll. Bill and Ted and the Wild Stallions. But you got one thing wrong, none the miser. Wild Stallions is spelled with a Y and not an I. being from West Virginia, we have a pathological hate for Lou Holtz. For Lou Holtz, he's going to spit everywhere when he's getting you guys ready to get out there on your field. You got to play like great young men today. Lou Holtz, I don't know. He's a Trump supporter, so he's my guy. But he should wear a bib. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was horrible. That was a poor taste. You got to respect an old guy. I apologize. Forgive me. And I love the SEC, the toughest conference culture. Without a doubt, the SEC is the best. I went to Eastern Michigan University for both undergrad and grad school, just down the road from the big house. Eastern Michigan. Is that the what is their mascot? I can't even picture it. I just have the I want to say the Chippewas. Is that right, or am I getting that totally wrong? I went to Idaho State. Is that the Vandals? Is Idaho State the Vandals, right? I believe so. Gabe, right back when G4 Tech TV was still a thing. Oh, what are we talking about? Sorry, I'm Ysplanti. The Eagles. Okay. My alma mater, University of Northern Colorado, that's Greeley, Colorado. They are the Bears. And they are the back-to-back NCAA Division II champions of football in 98 and 99. NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, and Steelers legend Aaron Smith, defensive end in the early 2000s, was on that team. My brother was in school there at the time. I didn't go to school there till 2001 or 2000. When did I start school there? I started in January 2001. I can't even remember when I started. I graduated in August of 2004. Chippewas is Central Michigan. Okay, there you go. EMU used to be the Hurons. That's a terrible mascot. Colorado, just like Colorado has the Colorado Buffaloes, Colorado State Rams. Right. My son is a Buffalo. My uncle's a Buffalo. My mom, my aunt, my uncle, myself, my brother, we're all UNC Bears. So once upon a time, Eastern Michigan was called Michigan Normal School, used solely as a teaching college. Yes, my alma mater in the late 1800s was, I think, Colorado Normal School, and it was a teacher's college at first. Yeah. One of the founders of Al-Qaeda went to my college like in the 70s. What do you think of that? Or the early 80s or 70s? He was a foreign exchange student. That's interesting. I was also told Nick Nolte went to my college. The actor with the very gruff voice. I don't know if he went there. Someone told me that. Division II, we are Marshall every day of the week. Never seen that movie. Idaho State is the Bengals. University of Idaho is the Bengals. Okay. Or searching for a high school that you know doesn't exist. There you go. Oh, guys, so we are ready. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to talk about, since we're talking about like differences in different parts of the country, I want to know what you guys think, because I think this is stupid. I don't think it's worth getting upset over, but I think it's stupid. Remember, we were talking about, like, in California, we say the 5 for the freeway, the 805, the 15. Oh, I'm going to take the 78 west, and then I'll get off on the 5 and blah, blah, blah. We say the. You guys say I-95, I whatever, I. Here's a regional thing I don't like. I think it's rude, and I am being serious. I don't think it's serious, but I'm being serious. I think it's rude. When Chicagoans tell you can't put ketchup on a hamburger or a hot dog, or you're some sort of idiot. Or people, I've heard like someone in Texas, like, you can't put ketchup on a hamburger, you're some kind of sissy. I was at a pizza place, and they had a sign up that said, no ranch, don't ask for it. And it's like, whoa. I did not know we had a bunch of killers in here. I did not know we had a bunch of badasses in here who will not put ranch on their pizza like sissies. What do you guys think? I think that telling people how to eat is really rude. I really do. I think eating is so personal to people. I think that's very bizarre. I was out to lunch with a friend who will remain nameless. I'm serious. And we were at this awesome Japanese spot that I go to this day, 15 years later. Shout out to Chopsticks on Convoy Avenue here in San Diego. Family-owned Japanese restaurant. I was just there on Friday. And I was getting sushi. And I did whatever. I don't know if I poured soy sauce on it, or I put the wasabi in the soy sauce or whatever. And he like corrected me. It's like, oh, you're not supposed to do it that way. It's like, listen, motherfucker, I'll put ketchup on my sushi if I want to. I'm eating it. I would never tell someone how to eat something. I think that's really rude. What do you guys think of that, though? Because I think it's really silly. People are like, oh, you give me, what are you, some sort of some sort of communist putting ketchup on your hot dog. Like, I get it if you don't like it, but why are your panties all up your ass crack about this? I think that's very rude. So, let's see. Johnny True said, "That shirt." Oh yeah, They Live. That's right. My granddaughter sees the shotgun, and she goes up to me and goes. So she's starting to recognize what that is. Yeah, that's They Live, one of my favorite movies. They should advertise that on their website. Don't know what we're talking about. Ketchup belongs on a hot dog. Don't listen to Chicagans. No, it does or doesn't belong on a hot dog. You can put pancake syrup on your hot dog. You're eating it. It's yours. It's really rude to tell people that. Because in the worst case, and this is probably not going to happen, you can really embarrass somebody, right? Do you want to do that? I don't know. And let's see, West Virginia sauce, slaw mustard. What is my favorite barbecue sauce? Is it Carolina? Who does mustard and like brown sugar and vinegar? That is so much better than the red Kansas City or Texas sauce, which are great. But you give me that mustard, vinegar, brown sugar. Oh, give me a soup bowl of that with brisket. Damn. Let's see. Yeah, that sounds insane. That sounds insanely good. Bacon, cheese, and ketchup is all I need on a burger. I like mayo on it because that's what Big Mac sauce and the secret sauce, that's what it is anyway. It's mayo, ketchup, mustard, and spices. Carolina Gold, is that what that's called? I think you're right. Yeah, that's the stuff, man. Barbecue, you want horrible barbecue, come to California. People in San Diego, and some of my San Diego guys, Secretary Not Sure, some of the guys that live here that watch the show, they will vouch for me. They don't know how to make barbecue in California, and they think they do. There's a chain restaurant here. Not chain. There's like 3 or 4. I won't name them. Phil's Barbecue. I won't name them. Phil's Barbecue has a line around the block, and it sucks. How do I know it sucks? How would I know? I lived in Colorado, lived in California. When would I get like barbecue? Well, it's funny you should ask. A black man from the Carolinas, he rented a ATM hut. I'm talking like 8 feet by 8 foot square, and had a blowtorch welded together oil drum, cleaned out, 2 of them, chained to it with homemade barbecue pits, and a black junkyard dog with like a spiked chain chained to that to like guard it when he wasn't there. And he would barbecue briskets with some hardwood, and he ruined barbecue for me because I've never had it again like that. And he was a black guy from the South who knew what the F he was doing, and he made that Carolina Gold sauce. And I would go in college and go buy a pound of it and eat it myself with some white bread and pickles. And you can't find it here in California. And we have the best food in the world here. California cuisine, like there's so many amazing award-winning restaurants, and they don't know their ass from their elbow about barbecue out here. They don't. They line up for trash out here. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. No one smokes brisket like my friend Dave. I'll take your word for it. Mayo's disgusting. I said, well, don't buy the damn store-made soybean oil. It's not hard to make mayo. It's an emulsion of egg yolks and oil. And you spice it. And if you make real mayo and you taste what that tastes like, you'll like it, Kara. So, no, I don't blame you. The stuff at the store that, like, you can lubricate the chassis of your car with that. That's not food. You shouldn't be eating that. Gabe, my great-great-grandmother went to the University of Southern Illinois. At the same time, the father of the Menendez brothers went there. Whew, that's something. How old's the father of the Menendez brother? Your great-great-grand. How old are you? But your my great-great-grandmother, who I have no idea who that is, would have been alive in like the late 1800s. My great-great. I'm only 46. But my grandfather was born in 1918. So we'll just add 25 to that for my great-grandfather. So that would be like 1890s. Welcome, Jericho.
Sup?
So my great-grandfather would be like 1890s probably born. So my great-great-grandfather would be like 1870s, like the Cowboys coming west right after the Civil War. How in the world is your great-great-grandmother at the University of Southern Illinois when a baby boomer was there? Are you 3 years old, Michael Coulter? Are you allowed on the internet?
He's doing a great job if he's 3.
That's insane.
His
yeah,
grammar's out of this world.
Uh-oh. Maybe he's friends with baby doctor.
Oh, friend and a patient.
I feel like baby doctor's going to show back up tonight.
He might.
I have a very strong inkling, as it were. How was football?
It was great. So the practices are scheduled 5:30 to 6:30, but that never happens. The kids are probably still there now or just wrapping up.
Oh.
So today or last week they had a doubleheader, back-to-back games. They won both games.
Nice.
So they're 3-0, and out of all 3 games, my son has 4 touchdowns, 1 pick six. And they were watching film today. I've never seen a flag football team of 9 and 10-year-olds watch film, but they did, and they're
you gotta love the dads of the 8-year-old flag team taking it this serious,
dude. Well, he also coaches the Pee Wee football, and so they're trying to get my son to go play for them. They're like, he's a stud, man. We'll meet you because we live like 30 minutes away from where he practices. So they're offering to meet us halfway and taking to practice. I'm like, relax, he's not playing tackle right now. But so they're watching film and they're running plays. I mean, these kids got progressions. They got first, second, and third reads. They're doing it's crazy. But
when I coached 8-year-olds, we threw like 3 passes a game and ran it like 35 times.
No, they're good, man. These kids, they got some speed, and you know how it is now. Kids are doing things earlier. Right. Things are more structured. There's sports all year round. There's
your
camps
son
and
has
stuff you can go
full arm
to.
tattoo sleeves.
Yeah, and they do wear the little sleeves. The coach handed them out. They got their little sunglasses. But
you know what was fun? I coached youth football forever. It was a joy of my life. I coached my son since he was 5, all the way through 8th grade. Then in high school, he was on his own. Did great in high school. Got on the varsity team in freshman year. 2nd team all league, defensive end, 3 championships, a state championship. My son was a badass. But when he was 8, it was so much fun. Because you know what I did? I did what my high school football coach did. You know how the Ohio State has the Buckeye stickers, the Buckeye leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how those stickers work. For those of you that don't know in the audience, you play the game Friday or Saturday night, depending high school, whatever, high school, college, whatever. And then you watch the game film. And it's like, oh, that was a great tackle. You get a sticker. Oh, you got a touchdown. You get a sticker. The defense stopped the offense 3 and out. All the defense gets a sticker. So you tally it up, and every player's getting stickers and different amounts of stickers. And my coach would give out Broncos because we were the Broncos. He would give out a football. He would get out one that said a TD on it. And he would give out a one with a skull and crossbones for the defender who just bashing people. Mm-hmm. And it was badass because by the end of your season, I have them in this drawer here. If I dig for them, I can find them and show them to you. I still have my giant RB Broncos, and I have some of my badass stickers. I went on my computer, I'm an artist, and I designed stickers, and I went to the print shop, and I printed hundreds of little stickers. Skull and crossbone, TD, a little Bengal, because we were the Bengals, and the kids loved it. Monday at practice, I'm like, we had touchdowns, you get a sticker, and some kids, my wife caught them, they would get back in line because they wanted more stickers on their helmet, and like, whatever, just give it to them, because they're 8 years old. But you should suggest that maybe next season or whatever, like the stickers. It's really fun. It's very cheap.
Oh yeah, when I played Pop Warner ball, they had that too. We were the North County Bulldogs, so you had a Bulldog sticker, right? And then for offense, you have the skull and crossbones. I think we even had a football one for special teams, right? But that was cool, and of course, it's cool when you get one. But even if you don't, that lets you know that I need to step it up, right? To get one, I need to do this. I need to get better. So I like that. And I remember not in football, but when I was in I think 4th grade. So all the kids who got, I think, A's or some shit like that, they got a pizza party. And we're talking fresh round table pizza. It's only 5 minutes away from the school. The shit was still hot. And if you guys don't know anything about hot, fresh round table pizza, I don't know if I can talk to you. So if you got a certain amount of grades or whatever it was, we met the criteria, they had a pizza party. And here they come with 5 hot, fresh round table pizzas. The guy comes in, hey, is this Miss Padgett's class, man? Takes them out of the, the warmer bag, that red pizza warmer bag. And she puts them on the table, and the plates and the Parmesan cheese and the cups and the 2 liters of soda. You all remember what a pizza party looks like, right? And she put them on the table, opened the top pizza, and the kids who got the grades or whatever, they lined up and they went over there and they got their pizza, and you smell the pizza and you see them eating the pizza. But if your ass didn't make the requirements, your ass didn't get any pizza. So you had to sit there and eat your ham sandwich or whatever and your juice. Sucks, dude, it was fucked up. But it sent a clear message that if you want some of this, you smell that? Yeah. You want some of that? You got to perform. You got to meet the criteria. And I remember I never met the criteria. I remember sitting there watching those little bastards eat that pizza. Made me so mad. But hey, if you don't cut the mustard, you don't get the sticker. You don't get the slice of pizza. Well, that shit was fun.
Let me bring this up here. I found it. I just wrote Bengals into the search. This is a file I made in 2007. This is Adobe Illustrator. And those are the little stickers I made up. So we had Pride, we had Bengals, and there's the order there. 100 of those, 150 of these. So I made a little badass skull. And then the city just gave us white helmets. So I copied the Cincinnati Bengals logo. I drew it in Adobe Illustrator. You can see that this is a Adobe Illustrator file here. And I made that logo that says Bengals. I printed them. And then every kid had a Bengal sticker on their helmet. And the city just said, okay, you could do that, but you got to take the stickers off at the end of the helmet. I just told the parents after last game, can you please peel the stickers off and wash the glue off? So, and I didn't get in any trouble for it. But yeah, it was really fun, man. I was such a coach. I love being a fucking coach so much because I had such great coaches. They saved my life because my parents were divorced. I didn't have like a dad. A lot of times I would just see him in the summer a little bit. And I had a shitty stepdad. He was a mean dude. And then he divorced my mom. My mom divorced him anyway. And the male role models I had of my football coaches, they saved my life, them and my grandpa. Dude. I just, like, who knows what will fucking happen to me, dude. I was not going in a good direction. And I love being a coach like so much that I would wear an orange shirt because it was the Bengals. I would wear a Bengals hat with Jericho. Dude, I went out and bought Nike black cleats, and I would wear cleats on the sideline. Like, I don't need cleats. I'm the coach.
But
I just wanted to be in it so bad. And the kids, I would have them frothing at the mouth and go, we were undefeated, the Bengals. It was the greatest year of my life coaching football. Every team I've ever coached has won the championship or made it there or whatever. Like, I coached the way my coach coached. And in high school, we won the championship twice when I was a sophomore and a senior. And it was just such an amazing experience because, you know, your parents are divorced, you know, your mom's single mother, you're getting a free lunch in the cafeteria. You can feel like a loser, you know, like growing up, everyone feels weird in middle school and high school. Then you go in a weight room and you lift 235 pounds and you do this. And you're like, oh my God, I can do things. I can achieve things. And like the impact it has on you. And that's all this weak ass Tim Walz liberal bullshit trying to destroy.
That's a weird dude, man.
Fuck him forever.
That's a weird dude, man.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah, jazz hands. And we don't say fuck him. We say fuck him forever, that guy. Just trying to vilify masculinity. What football did for me, when I tell you it saved my life, I'm not kidding. It saved my life. The work ethic I have now, the way I can go through situations and deal with people and just taste the blood in my mouth, getting punched or whatever, figuratively. I learned it there. Just getting like a hammered piece of shit on the football field. And you get up and you're like, okay, I'm fine. You know,
yeah,
it was some of the greatest times of my life.
I had some pretty hard collisions playing football, but from the other side of the room, you know, let's say we're all in a big circle watching the octagon of life. Well, I was sitting across from where you were, having my dad, my parents were together and everything, so I didn't get the same things from football that somebody in your position did. It was a great camaraderie, of course, with your boys. And some of the kids are my friends, you know, outside of football and shit like that. But it was more of just a place to go and have fun. You know, I wasn't really a big football fan. I played and stuff, but it was a way to go have fun. It was fun to hear the crowd and shit like that. It was fun, you know, when you got a big hit or something like that, or you made a tackle. That was always cool. But I got different things out of it. My son, now my dad, he never came to my games and he never came to practice. He only came to practice to drop me off and pick me up. So that was kind of weird that my dad was there and he could have been there. He could have been at every game. He could have been at every practice, but for some reason, he wasn't. But
that stinks.
Yeah, that was weird. But my mom was always there. I could hear her from fucking nautical mile away.
Look at how I got these guys. They're taking a knee and coach is just giving them the gospel here. Oh God, I love this so much.
Yeah, that's what my son's coach does.
Just letting them know. Look, I got the diagram play up. I'm explaining something to him on a giant piece of cardboard. I wonder what I'm telling him in this photo here. I can see the offense and the defense drawn on there. And that's Coach Nate. Fun. That's Coach Juan Trujillo. And then that's Coach me, Coach Gabe. And I remember Coach Nate and Coach Juan argued with me now this is reverse. 99.9% of the time, it's the other way around. They are okay. So the first day of practice, what I did, was like a punt, pass, kick. Every boy, I'm writing your name down and throw. We're going to 3 stations. You're throwing passes, you're kicking it. We're going to see who's our quarterback, who's our running back. Like, we got to see. So we set up like obstacle thing for the runner and thrower, and we let every kid do it. Because I'm not the fucking guy, like, my son is the quarterback. That's endemic to football, dude. It's the worst. So we went there. Juan wrote down what he thought. I wrote down what I thought, and Nate wrote down what he thought. And they're good men, and I'm still friendly with them to this day. This is 20 years ago, practically. And they argued with me to make my son the quarterback because I played football with him forever, years before this, and he's the one who could throw it. And I'm like, we can't do that. I'm the coach. We cannot do that. Do you know what that looks like? And they're like, and then they pointed out to me after we argued about it for like an hour. They said it wouldn't be fair to make him the quarterback because he's your son. And Juan's like, it wouldn't be fair to make him not the quarterback because he's your son. So what I did, a compromise for my conscience, I had 22 kids. I said, everyone is a starter both ways. We'll have 2 quarterbacks, two of everything. And the first half of the game, the black team is this, the orange team is that. Halftime, we flop it. So that's what we did. We had 2 squads. Everyone got to play both ways. But I remember they wanted to argue with me and argue. I'm like, I can't make my son the quarterback, even though I clearly knew, like, yeah, I've been throwing the ball for years.
At 8 years old, you still have that's still possible. But fast forward to 8th grade when he's 14 years old, if your son is clearly the best quarterback on the team,
right?
You got to put him as quarterback.
But you know
on
how
the
it
team.
is. You're around youth sports and it's daddy ball, daddy ball, daddy ball. Like,
no, fuck that. Whoever's the best. Whoever's the best.
Yeah, but I went to Walmart. I was so invested in the team. I paid for the stickers. I went to Walmart and I bought 11 black wife beaters. And what I would do at practice is
that can conjure a different image if you don't know what a wife beater is. Like, they were cheap. I got 11 guys.
11 black unders.
I bought 11 black guys. They beat their wives, and so I brought them to practice.
I bought, since we had 22 kids, I divided the team into 2 11-man squads. What I would do, we had black team and orange team. I'm trying to find a picture of it here. I would put these black undershirts on half of the team at practice. Here we go. Okay. You put a black undershirt and then you could scrimmage each other at practice because everyone looks the same. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, then everyone's an orange and you're trying to tackle someone. You're like, who's my guy here? Blah, 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 blah. And so at the beginning of practice, like, no, you're on black team. So, and the kids knew after the first week, you're black team, you're orange team. So, if I could go back to youth football, I love it so much. I'll probably do it again when I semi-retire from comics. Comics takes too much of my time, but this is one of the most rewarding things in the world to me. I absolutely love this. You know, it was so
That's
much.
Probably a good idea for a comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it would be really fun.
The little really giants, bad news bears kind of, kids. Because that's easy to write a story of triumph. And, the kids, and maybe they're not good, and they learn their lessons, and they get better. And, yeah, man, that's fucking home run. That's a home run.
Yeah,
I remember.
Look at me, a baby here. Look at me, all baby faced here. That's my little safety Brody. I still remember his name. This kid's probably 25 years old by now.
Oh, he probably has a little Brody.
Right, that's Brody. He was a little safety for us. And I remember I did visualization with him. That kid kept fumbling the ball. And I said, Brody, here's what you're gonna do. Hold the ball. I said, now close your eyes. He closed his eyes. He held the ball. I said, now, Brody, in your mind, you see yourself running and turning and jumping and bumping into people, and you don't drop the ball. You don't drop it. You keep running. You don't drop it. You don't drop it. I was like, can you see it? He's like, yeah, I can see it. I said, all right. Never fumbled again. Just walked him through it in his mind. So, yeah.
Good job, Brody.
No, I owe so much to football, and I just loved coaching him, man. And it was those kids loved me, dude, because I got hired by DC Comics middle of that season. So I had to leave Colorado. So we had our party after we went undefeated. We won the championship, blah, blah, blah. My wife baked a big cake. She wrote every kid's number on the cake. And when we cut the cake, we had to give them their number. I made a big smoked brisket that I learned to make from the barbecue guy I was talking about before you showed up. And the kids are like crying and hugging me and bye, because I'm like, I'm not going to be back next year. Sorry, guys. Moving to California to go do comic books. And it would have been nice to have a little empire there for a few years. I remember one dad, the Ravens were the worst team in the league, beat the shit out of them. And the dad came up to me after the game, and he said, he was dad of one of the Ravens. He said, "Hey, are you coaching next year? I want my kid on your team. You got all you guys together here, man. You know what you're doing." I'm like, "No, man, I'm sorry.
I won't be here.
I'm moving to California, man. Sorry." And it was just the experience of a lifetime. So any of you out there, if you have the right temperament for it, definitely coach kids sports. There's a little more that's rewarding. It's helping the little guys. Helping little guys understand they can be something, you know.
There's a lot that goes into it, and like a lot of things when dealing with kids, the parents are usually the toughest part. The kids, even if there are some issues, you know, kids gravitate toward structure and discipline. They need it, they crave it, they want it. So when you give them that, they're quickly whipped into shape. They get the routine. They know what's up. They know what's expected. They know what the consequences are if they don't, you know, running laps or push-ups, whatever. But the parents, so last year I was assistant coach for my son's last season for his flag football team. And that was the biggest issue. So the head coach, he's out on the field, and then I'm on the sideline. I'm sending in replacements and stuff. Hey, guys, making sure they pay attention, clap for your team, all this kind of stuff, you know, hey, all this shit. And the parents, you'd hear them, "Oh, how come my son hasn't been in it? Oh, they haven't left the field." And I wanted to turn around and be like, "Hey, your kid fucking sucks. Your kid can't take direction. He's a fucking pain in the ass. Your kid sits on the field and chases butterflies, and your kid has his thumb up his ass and sometimes up another kid's ass. So that's why I don't put your kid on the field, because they fucking suck. Why don't you play catch with your son and teach him how to catch a ball, and he gets more playing time, you dick? You think this is personal? You think I got a vendetta against these kids and I don't want to put them on the field?"
Well, that's why I feel so lucky.
Fuck out of here.
This little team, I had 22 kids, so that's a full offense and a defense. Everyone played the exact same amount. Because like I said, I had the orange team and the black team. Orange team, your offense the first half, your defense second half, vice versa. So I never had that come up with the parents. Everyone played, and thank God nobody got injured all season. So they all played, they all won, they were all so excited. So it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. I coached football for years after that, but this was my favorite year of coaching football. It was my son's first year in tackle football. So
yeah, don't be a shit parent. Be a good parent. Let the coaches do what they do and let your kids learn something. Yeah, and I like my son's coaches because they push them. You know, they give them a lot because they know they can handle a lot. You know, I like them to be pushed to the limit. You know, because kids at that age, they're sponges. Well, you give it to them, they can handle it.
You know, as men, like now that we're grown, right? You get into your 20s, older, like 30s and 40s, and you talk to your buddies, you know the guys that did something rough and tough when they were young and the guys that didn't. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't have to be football, but if it's boxing or wrestling or one of the tough guy sports, they're like baseball, basketball, they're all fine. But you're not getting your ass kicked in those sports. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're gonna get. You be a big old guy like me, and you're still going to get your ass kicked in football once in a while. You're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me explain this for those who don't know at home. See how football, you have the two lines of guys ramming heads, right? So I'm on the defense. We do not have the ball. We're trying to stop the guys with the ball. There's a running play called a trap. It's a nightmare if you're in the middle of the line like I was, because you're trying to get through and you're pushing the guy in front of you, right? What will happen every once in a while is you'll go hike and you'll go through, and the guy in front of you disappears. You're like, "Oh, that was easy."
Hey, where you going?
For half a second, you're like, "That was easy," and you're like, "Oh shit,
something's about to happen."
You look that way, and boom, and you just go flying.
You just hear honk honk. What's that?
And that's why it's called the trap, because they pull a guy from the other side to ear hole you.
Yeah,
and, you go right through. You're like, that was real easy. Quarterback,
hey, come here, quarterback. Boom. Then you see somebody stepping over you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Defense, their job is to kill whoever has the ball. Kill him.
Right.
Hurt him. Knock that ball out of his hand. Knock him out of the game. I mean, you're not like aiming for the kneecap or nothing like that, but a clean hit, fucking wipe that dude out. That's what the defense is doing.
Did you wear those Coach short shorts? No.
You sack a half inch from sunlight.
No. Thank you. In fact, since it was like 2007, I had my buddy bought me Denver Nuggets basketball shorts. I live in Colorado. But look at you can see right here. I wasn't kidding. Look at my shoes. Those are Adidas cleats. Those are like half-inch cleats. You know, that's the kind of
those are lesbian shorts now. If you see a woman wearing those shorts, she likes up her.
Yeah. So yeah, that's me there at practice with the black
It's
squad and the
great.
orange squad.
Sports is great, man. It teaches kids, it humbles you, it lets you know exactly where you are in the world, and it also lets you know that you can get better. You don't have to stay there. Just try harder, study more, train harder. You can get better. You can get those stickers. You can get the trophies and the accolades and the more playing time. It's possible. You just got to put in the work.
I will say this, and this is a very serious thing, but it matters. It's serious because it matters. Men are 4 times as likely to end their own lives as women. And the most common thing that the men that do that have to say about it in their letter or whatever, the note they leave behind, is feelings of worthlessness. Mm-hmm. And a sex difference that is immutable, which means unchangeable, immutable sex difference between men and women, is our self-esteem, our self-image is derived by what we do and continue to do, what we achieve, what we fight, what we overcome, what we attempt. Women are not this way. I don't want to fucking hear it. You're not like us this way. We feel worthless if we don't achieve things. Mm-hmm. We do. And when you're a little guy and a coach looks in your eyes and tells you, hey, man, you're better than that, Jericho. That was a bullshit tackle. You know better than that. Stay home on that run, blah, blah, blah. You got the outside contain, and you do it, and you make the tackle. He's like, there you go, Jericho. Good job. That does something to you as a boy to turn you into a man like nothing else. Mm-hmm. When you go, oh my God, I can do things.
That happened to my son today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They were doing the drills. He's about getting the right angle. So the ball carrier's coming. You have to get that right angle. So you meet him. You have and you're in position in front of that. So break down, get big.
Right.
Go for
head
the
across
flag.
The body.
So
the arm tackling, head across the body.
Yeah, he stopped and reached for the flag. And the coach was like, nope. He's all, try that again. Da, 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 da. He's all, do it this way. And then the very next play, he did it exactly like the coach told him.
Right.
And he met him right there, got big, broke down, took the flag. And then all the coaches, that's right. He's all, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm, we have one of the coaches, Coach Nolan. He's hyped. So he's, that's what I'm talking about, baby. You give him fives and all that stuff. And that's an injection. That's like an adrenaline shot to a little kid, to a young man, to where you're like, oh shit, I listen, I do things the right way, I achieve, and I get praised for it. There's a lot that happens in that little moment to a young man when he hears stuff like that, when he hears the right kind of adulation. And to pile on to your point, when a man has that feeling that he's worthless, that he's a loser because he's not achieving, a woman, his woman, has a very pivotal role, because you can, I don't want to say solidify, because if you're married and stuff, you're already pretty solid, but you can Mount Rushmore yourself in his mind if you handle that situation properly, if you give encouragement, if you're a cheerleader in that moment. Because if you take the other route and you beat him down or you kick him while he's down, you're going to etch yourself into the bad Mount Rushmore in his mind forever, never be removed. I mean, you can't, there's only a handful of strikes you get with the man as their woman.
Right.
And there's no coming back from these.
Mock him, humiliate him, shit talk him in front of other people.
See
what happens. He'll turn it all off.
You ever seen a business, they roll down that door? That's what will happen. He will roll that door down over that part of his heart, and you will never gain entry again, and he will never forgive you. And if he's a man worth his salt, once you run through these strikes, you're fucking out of here. So ladies, if your man is in that position, handle it the right way, and he'll move mountains for you. And he'll be able to move those mountains with your encouragement.
Yep. Two things. Like Jefferson Starship said, we can build this thing together, standing strong forever. But no, in the Bible, Proverbs 14:1, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. When you look at modern relationships, divorce is filed like 70-80% of the time by women. Mm-hmm. And like the discourse out there, because Jericho and I don't know. I've been married 28 and a half years to the most wonderful, perfect wife on earth. And Jericho, yours is great too, is what I hear. Yep. You've seen mine in action. She's a model wife. She's amazing. She is my right hand. But you hear the parlance out there. You hear the discourse. You hear people saying, it's just like, oh, my husband, he's such a fucking idiot, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like, that's a foolish woman tearing her own house down. Like, ladies, do you know what you are for us to achieve? You're the inspiration. you know what I mean? Like, I'll go out and slay dragons. Just have the food ready when I get home. Patch up the wound. Like, I'll go do it again. Just tell me I can do it. Tell me I can do it. Heal my wounds, and I'll do it every day till I die. Because as men, you know this, Jericho, in an abstract sense, it's an honor to die for the right thing, right? For men, like, yeah, of course. There's
no question.
Scientific research. It's like, it's very simple. They'll ask a woman, you know, like, if there's, you know, one parachute out of the plane and it's like you and your husband, like, who should have it? The women will always say, I should have it. And the men will always say, she should have it. And I don't fault women for that. That's the natural order. I think these men guy that hate women, they're like, see how women are, like, no, this is the natural order, dude. One of us has to be that way and one has to be the other, and we're complementary, like, of course. So if you're a woman and your husband ain't shit, help him become something, like, really, like, inspire him to, like, figure out what he needs, this and that, and I don't know, like, motivate him and give him that encouragement that he probably never got from his dad, from the men around him, because that's what it takes. Because to men, we have that proof in front of us, like, there's a guy and he's done stuff. He thinks I can do stuff. Magic to men, you know? And like, and he holds me to account. And then I do stuff and it works. Like, all of it, just once that clicks in your head, for a man, winning is addictive. Once you start winning, you don't want to stop as a guy, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot packed into those moments. You know, there's a lot that happens. There's a lot that's imprinted on a young man. And ladies, if you handle it right, man, he'll make sure that you have everything that you could ever want.
Right.
If you handle it wrong.
I don't disagree with what you're saying here. Women that think that way, the positive way to encourage men and this and that, be a good helpmate, had a good dad, sure. But to the women out there that didn't have that had a bad dad, I'm sorry, that's too bad. You're gonna have to do it the right way, even though it wasn't done for you. Like I said, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 8, and I'll just say I'm a great dad. I'm an amazing dad and a great grandfather, and I broke this. It ends with me. You know, I'm not going to be a piece of shit and go, well, my dad wasn't really around much and my parents were divorced, so I get to be a fucker. No. And even more so in my mind, at least for me, it would be worse for me to do it because I know how it felt.
You have an opportunity to stop it.
My dad's parents weren't divorced. My mom's parents were not divorced. They don't know how it felt. I do. Why the fuck would I inflict that on someone? You know? Yeah,
that's to stop with you. And what kind of fucking, how could you live with yourself knowing that you're floating down to earth in the one parachute and your wife's fucking careening into a mountainside? What the fuck, dude?
Right.
That is so terrible. But some guy would do that. Okay, babe.
Tim Walls would do that.
Oh yeah, he's like, all right, cool, I'll take it. She's like, no, I would just buy it. He would totally do that. But there were some that said that he is the new face of masculinity. Ooh, those dumbasses. Well, speaking of masculinity, I don't think it gets more masculine than Tombstone. And I think I read it. I read it, and I think there were 98 square miles of mustache in this movie. Holy
even shit. Had the great Charlton Heston, the only time I've seen him with a mustache. Now, in the 10 Commandments, he had a beard, but he didn't have just a staff, you know. So.
Well, he had a beard once he came down from the mountain. I think he was clean shaven. He was clean shaven before he went up on the mountain and got the tablets.
Something weird with this movie. I'd never seen it before, like 5 years ago. And I didn't like it. I was telling my wife yesterday, I was like, I worked all day. I don't want to watch this fucking Tombstone. It was so good. I'm like, what did I miss the first time? So
maybe you were doing something else.
That's what I said. I must have been distracted or not paying attention. I just kind of wasn't getting it. But I sat there, I put my phone away, and I sat and watched this thing. I'm like, this is amazing. And I think this is by far Val Kilmer's best performance.
Yeah. And you know what? Everybody who went to the premiere and sat there and watched it, they all looked at Val Kilmer like, you took the movie over. I know Kurt Russell's the man, but Val Kilmer was the best character in this movie, and I think he has the best one-liners in this movie. Kurt Russell has some when he tells him to skin that smoke wagon and get to work. Hey,
when he beats the shit out of a chubby Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What happened there?
That was chubby Billy Bob Thornton.
He wasn't listening to Dr. Baby with his diet. Dude, but yeah, Billy Bob was in there, and this movie, like I said, Kurt Russell was in it, of course. He was the man, 1993. I get it. But Val Kilmer stole this movie. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. And this movie, what's the I would say the center of this movie? Family.
Oh yeah.
It always comes back to family. That's why they get on the path of revenge and all that. That's why they moved to Tombstone, was family. They were following him. His two brothers, one older, one younger, they followed him there. They even told him, hey, dude, we came here because of you. It's all about family.
It's a good movie. You're right. I must have just not been paying attention when I saw it the first time. But Val Kilmer stole the show. He is absolutely amazing in this movie.
And there's a difference between this kind of Southerner and then he's like the Southern gentleman. Like he has some education. He's speaking Latin, shit like that.
Oh, so when he's fighting with Johnny Ringo and they're going back and forth in Latin, I looked up what all that stuff meant. And it's kind of a very insulting exchange.
Oh, yeah. And everybody in there, except for them, was just like, huh, what the fuck are they saying? Right. And they're having a full-on conversation. And he goes, he's an educated man. Now I definitely hate him. I mean, dude, Val Kilmer, come on, man.
How great is Powers Booth, the one in the red, Powers.
Hey, R.I.P.
Right. And then R.I.P. to
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, Virgil. He gets got. And then R.I.P. to, there was another one I saw. Obviously Charlton Heston died years ago. But there's another couple that were not around either that I noticed. So yeah, Powers Booth, Bill Paxton, Charlton Heston. There's about 4 in this movie.
Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Val Kilmer, of course, the most obvious recent one. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, but what a lineup.
Yeah.
Dude, Kurt Russell, Powers Booth, Val Kilmer.
And the great Michael Biehn. Michael Biehn is from Heather's Town.
Wait, who was he?
He's Johnny Ringo.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I was thinking of
you can't kind of tell, and then you go, oh, that's Michael Biehn from
it's fucking Kyle Reese. That's Kyle Reese.
Right.
The other guy,
all the way back in time to bang Linda Hamilton.
And then he went all the way back in time here to bang her great grandma. This dude's a savage.
Yeah.
No, who the fuck was I thinking? Oh, the guy who played Yondu in fucking.
Oh, Michael Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker, dude. He's the B-list in this movie.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck, man. What a great, and Samuel Elliott.
Kilmer. That was Michael Biehn. Johnny Ringo's the character.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Biehn is the actor.
And Johnny Ringo didn't want it. Johnny Ringo didn't want none with Val Kilmer.
He's like,
he didn't want it.
Fun, and I was just fun.
He said, I wasn't. Dude, he wanted Wyatt Earp. I mean, probably because he's the bigger name, but I think mostly because he knew he could beat him. And Wyatt Earp knew that he could beat him, but he knew he couldn't fuck with Doc Holliday. But Doc Holliday was, and where was the well, we'll get to it. The moment where Doc Holliday develops his hatred for Johnny Ringo. I can pinpoint the very moment, but we'll get to it.
Like an exact moment, huh?
For sure. He disrespected him. You can't do that shit.
Right.
Back then, respect was everything. You call a man a liar, he'll probably pull up, and that was a scene in the movie.
The guy said he was lying a card, so he shot him.
And he shot him, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
He out in the middle of the street in front of the whole town. He blasts this dude, and he says, "Why'd you do it? Man, call me a liar." All right, nothing to see here, folks. Let's pick these boys up out of the street, get back to it. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. So it starts off, we got a Mexican wedding, and we're introduced to the Cowboys. And it seems like their leader is Old Red there. That's Powers Booth. I don't remember the character's name.
I think it's Billy.
But he's not the actual leader, right? Johnny Ringo's the leader? Or is
No, he's the leader. No, Powers Booth.
Johnny Ringo's the big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the gun.
Okay. So yeah, they come here, they terrorize this wedding, and they're so disrespectful. They're insulting. They shoot the groom in the knees. They mock the priest. And the priest tells them something that'll come back way later at the end of Act 2 about a pale horse is coming, and on a rider sits upon him, and the rider's name is Death, and behind him is Hell. And that is from the Bible. That is from the book of Revelations.
And he tells them the chapter, the book, the chapter, the verse. Dude, the show always comes back to food.
Yeah.
Dude, what is it? When does it take place?
1879, I think they said at the very beginning. 1876, 79. It's late 70s.
So imagine
Civil War's been over for 10-ish years or so.
Imagine what the food was like at this wedding, Mexico, 1879. And they had a whole spread. Man, I bet that shit was so damn.
You want to talk about roasted meat everywhere?
No crazy shit. All the ingredients were fresh, made by grandmas and shit. Everything was grown out of a garden, but a stone's throw.
Everything you're eating was from within 2-3 miles of where you're sitting eating.
Probably in that town, within the walls of that town.
Right. Yeah.
Sure, they had goats and cows and gardens and all that shit, man. Right. Oh, and the tortillas.
These bastards, they kill the groom. First, they shoot him in the knees. They humiliate him. He won't kneel, so they shoot him in the knees.
Because he killed 2 of their guys.
Right. So then they take the bride away, and you know what they do to her, which is terrible. And then just to add insult to injury, they sit down to eat the wedding dinner, like meal, the spread, this there. And Billy or whatever, the guy in the red, must have knew we were coming or something. Just some bullshit remark like that.
These guys are assholes. And then the priest, he tells them shit right before they shoot the groom. And then he comes over to the table again a few minutes later and starts telling them shit at the table while they're eating. And then you just see Johnny Ringo pull his shit. I don't think he even looked at him.
No, just
pulled his shit. Boom. Shot the priest in the head, put his gun back, and everybody looks at him like, all right, pass me a tortilla.
Right.
And then they show you. You see Michael Rooker. He doesn't like it. Everybody's laughing. Like, ha, 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 ha. He's not laughing. So you know there might be some good in old Yondu. But even the way they are at the table, just grabbing shit, grabbing meat with their hand, just being savages. They're savage on every level. They're all pieces of shit, and I can't wait for him to get shot. But you can see Yondu right there. He's running with them. He's a bad dude. He's done some bad shit, but there's some good in him.
He's more into like robbing trains and banks and not shooting brides and grooms and priests.
Yeah, and priests between their eyes. He's not down.
That's probably not great. Joe Mello. He's a very mellow guy here for $4.99. Thank you, Fred. Hey, guys, good evening. A great movie with an all-star cast. R.I.P. Iceman. Yeah, R.I.P. Iceman, R.I.P. Powers Booth, and
Paxton.
Bill Paxton. And, yeah, there's a few guys in this great movie that are no longer with us. For
Dude, sure, Billy Zane. Don't forget Billy Zane.
Right? He's in it. The actor, yeah.
Stephen Lang. Dude, there's so many good actors in this movie. You almost forget about them.
Was this meal catered organic? Jennifer,
actually, is it organic?
Actually, these are indigenous people, and you're oppressing them with your colonizer.
That's actually cultural appropriation. There should be like maize and like ground.
It's actually, Jericho. Actually, it's pronounced maize.
Oh, excuse me. Maize. I apologize. My name is Jericho Green.
Sam Elliott. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Coors. You guys like a Coors?
A Coors.
Dude, when he doesn't have
how do you spell Coors?
Oh, it's 3 O's.
Oh.
It's Coors. But when he doesn't have a mustache, he has an odd mouth.
Oh, really? He's one of those guys that needs the mustache.
His lips are like this, and he drinks Coors. Remember when he was the fucking what was he the voice of? Beef, right?
Right. Beef is what's
for dinner. Remember?
Remember he was
Dalton's
great buddy in Roadhouse.
Yeah, he was his mentor. You can see his pubic hair.
They called him Dick Root.
Yeah, he said, "My name's Sam Dick Root Elliott, and these are my pubic hairs." Dude, take me back to Sam Elliott, Coors, Beef, It's What's for Dinner, and Keith David doing the voiceovers for the fucking Navy recruiting commercials. Right. Take me back to then and fucking leave me alone. She was great.
So anyway, so these are bad hombres, as we see, except Michael Rooker right there on the left.
See, look, it's in his face.
He's like, what the hell? We just killed a bridegroom and a priest.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, I was here to rob trains.
You told me we were getting
civilians.
You told me because they came down there because the groom that he threw him, he had 2 rolled up red sashes, which is like their flag, their gang bandana. He had them rolled up and he threw them at him. He's like, you killed 2 of our guys. And you'll see throughout the movie, that's the line in the sand for the what are their names? The Cowboys. That's a line in the sand. If you fuck with one of them, that's it. That's it. They're going to come get you no matter who you are, no matter where you are. So they're establishing that early that you don't mess with
Jennifer, you ask, have y'all done Roadhouse? When Jericho first joined me,
Roadhouse did us.
I used to have another co-host, Shantan Jetty, was with us for like 2 years, and Jericho joined after about the first year. So like 2-3 years ago, we did Roadhouse as one of the first movies we ever did with Jericho. Go find it in the archives on my channel here. You'll be crying laughing. We get into, remember the guy, it's because of me. There's a Montgomery Ward in this town, and like all this.
Dude.
Yeah,
I've never seen
we did that one a long time ago.
I've never seen a crime
the guy
boss.
In the final fight. Patrick Swayze's fighting the guy in front of the lake, and the guy, like, they're fighting and kicking, all doing all the cruel, and he gets like Patrick Swayze in a headlock where he's all, I used to do guys like you in prison.
Yeah, I used to fuck
like,
guys like you in the ass or something.
Time out.
Timesies.
That's a weird thing to say, even though we're fighting.
Timesies. And you know what? They'll do it like wrestling. After the timeout, we'll get back in the position we were.
Yeah. Fair. You were on top.
Timeout,
headlock, but sir, I'm gonna need to see your ID, and I want to know why you said that.
There would be zero anus in the same.
You're out, and you actually get in a street fight, like something goes wrong, and you're fighting a guy, and then he gets you in a headlock and whispers that I used to do guys like you in prison.
Well,
what?
That is up the ante. Now it's a fight to the death because I feel like if I'm rendered unconscious or something, that I'll be violated. So
I feel like was that line in the script, or did that guy improv that line?
Either way, I got a problem, and we need a timeout. Either way,
much.
That's too much, man. I respect your improv skills. I respect you swinging for the fences, so to speak, but keep my anus out of it, please. So.
Fun fact, the gunfight at the OK Corral has never been depicted correctly, as there was snow on the ground, per everyone's favorite Arizonan, Razor Fist. Razor Fist is a YouTuber guy. I know him. We're not like best buddies or anything like that, but I do know him. We're in the same sort of circles of cultural commentary, and he is an Arizonan. I believe he resides in Phoenix on purpose, which I find curious.
That's where they make heat, right?
Yeah, that's where heat actually emanates on Earth. It comes out of Phoenix.
Jeez, dude, Arizona is fucking ridiculous.
I love the desert.
I don't care when you go.
I do love the desert. I just love driving through it to Las Vegas, then going to my air-conditioned hotel room and air-conditioned restaurants in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Because I've been to Arizona in November, late November. Couldn't tell. 90 degrees outside. And the people who live there are like, woo, it's freezing. And then if you go northern Arizona, like Flagstaff, the tip top, in the wintertime, you'll get snow, but that's like a prosciutto thin slice of Arizona. The rest of it is in the bowels of Satan's colon. It's
65 to 70 year round at my house. But today it got up to like a scorching 75. So I actually got my fan out for the first time in 6 months.
No.
It was 75, and I was like, dude, what the hell is going on?
Is it too hot for you to go outside barefoot? You got to put some shoes on before you walk
actually noticed that it was 75 degrees. I'm like, this will not do.
Babe, I'm on my way home. Have a glass
of
water.
Darling, it's 74 degrees outside.
It is far too warm.
Oh.
Well, here it got up to 82. So
don't say things like that. That's not till August here. We don't get that till late August here. The hottest it gets here is, I told you, it's the last week of August and the first week of September. We'll hit 88, and everyone here is crying like,
poor thing. That's how it was when I lived in Monterey.
It's 88 degrees. When will it stop?
But people were literally talking about it. You hear people talking on the street about how it's 88 degrees outside.
I don't know, man. They said it's going to be 87 tomorrow.
Bring the animals and the plants.
Go to Costco and buy an entire rack of Gatorade because it's going to be 83 degrees.
Yeah. And everybody's plants are like drooping outside because they're not used to it.
It's paradise. San Diego's paradise. I'm sorry. We're spoiled here, man.
Well, here, where I live near Sacramento, Heather, I know you live where the sun was born. You live in the sun's hometown.
Right.
But where I live near Sacramento, where it gets hot, it starts here in May, and then it's hot through last year. I think it was like 90 or something on Halloween. So we're talking May to October. It's like when you open the oven and you got that blast of heat, but it eventually goes away.
Yeah.
No, that blast of heat stays there from May to October.
So you're saying the oven opens in May and closes at Halloween?
Yes. Okay. And if you look closely inside of my oven, you will see Satan bent over with the distended anus that he's spreading apart. That's how hot it gets. Middle 2 o'clock in the morning, it's 90. Sun hasn't been up in hours.
I told you I went to visit my mom in Phoenix because she was staying there for a few months because they were doing construction up in Tahoe on the house she was in up there. So they stayed in my aunt's other house in Phoenix. And I was going to visit for 3 days. I left after like a day and a half or two. It was 118 both days. It's like, Mom, I gotta go. I'm sorry. You can visit me in San Diego. I'll buy you a ticket. I'm not staying here. We went out to get pizza with my mom and my aunt. This awesome pizza place there in Scottsdale. Scottsdale's douchey, by the way. And it's like Scottsdale's try-hard city. Oh my gosh.
Hey, but Scottsdale's nice, man. I like this.
It's so nice, but it's
Scottsdale's nice.
It's what people think a nice place should be like. Like you can just feel it's like they're forcing it. They're like, oh, this is nice. This is nice, everyone. We're rich, everyone. It's like it's so forced, the atmosphere. It's weird. It was delicious pizza, but it was like 105 degrees at 10 at night eating at this place.
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially if you're not used to it. It's so hot that let's say you go there for an event, something that's fun, or to visit somebody, something good. You can't focus on it because it's so damn hot. That's how hot it gets. You walk outside, okay, it's 11:30. It had to have cooled down. It's 11:30 at night. The sun went down at 7. It has to be cool. No, because that's when the ground goes, hey, here's all this heat I've been storing up all day, and you're getting it from the bottom. You can feel the heat coming off the ground.
Go right up your shorts.
Yeah, it's cooking. Your taint is a golden brown. All the ladies getting that clam steamed. Yeah, man, it's crazy. But something that's completely off topic, but it shows the relationship that men have. My brother just texted me a picture. I don't know where he is, but there's a big rainbow, and then the colors turn into the trans flag, but it's a rainbow. And he took a picture, and he goes, "Thought of you." Fucking asshole. And I wrote back, "You would."
There you go.
Good times, people.
Touche. Anyway, these guys who are obvious Scottsdale transplants, the cowboy gang,
pricks,
murder the bride and groom, shoot the priest, eat all their food like a bunch of assholes. So the Earp brothers, it's an interesting last name, Earp. How do you name like Earp? I'm going to ask Grok.
You got to say that name together.
Yeah, you have to say why. You can't just say Earp, get over here.
If he's in the military, that's what they call him.
I guess they would.
Damn it! Give me 50.
Do they do nicknames? I guess the officers wouldn't call you by nickname, but your squad mates probably would, right?
No, they would because they could be the one that gave it to you. And for official business, yeah, they're going to refer to you by your last name. But no, if you got a nickname, that's probably what you're going to get. That's that forever.
Okay, I'm asking Grok, what kind of name is Earp? Where does it originate? What is Grok? Now, Grok is so much better than Google, by the way. It's free. Just make a Twitter account. The name Earp is an intriguing surname with roots primarily in England.
Earp.
Oh, it has ties to Old English. Eorp, E-O-R-P, meaning dark or swarthy.
So how do you use what do you call it? ChatGPT?
I use
Grok. Grok. Is that just regular search on Twitter?
No, you click on the Grok symbol, which looks like Saturn. It looks like a little circle with a ring around it. On the left side of your Twitter account, there's a Grok button, and it is 1,000 times better than anything you could do. I bought a Jackie Chan DVD, and I was not sure if it was American region, European, Chinese region. I took a picture of the back of the DVD, and I said, hey, Grok, can I play this on my American DVD player? I said, yes, you can. The symbol in the bottom right corner is the red symbol with an A means it's region A, and you live in America, so this should work on your player. I took a picture of my ceiling fan in my bedroom because I broke one of the shades over the light. My son did. I said, hey, Grok, what size is this shade here? The socket that you see inside is the standard, like whatever socket for a 120 volt bulb. So if you know how big the socket is, how big do you think the aperture on the back of the shade I need to buy is? I said, well, determining blah, blah, blah. I said, this is a 2.15 inch, blah, blah. It's like being a cyborg, dude. It's like having an augmented brain. Stuff that you could look up in 10 or 15 minutes, it will answer you in 10 or 15 seconds.
Where is it? I don't see it on my Twitter. Oh, I see it right here.
Yeah, on the left.
Grok.
Left, put your hands up. Left is the one that makes an L.
No, it's on the bottom of my phone.
Oh, it's left on the desktop. I'm bad. My bad. It's on the bottom. It's on the bottom on your phone, on the left on your desktop. I'm at my desktop, sorry. Yes, it's a little thing down there. And then you ask anything. You can upload pictures to it. Say, hey, Grok, what's this? Look at my car, my engine here. I'm replacing this thing here. What size is that? And it'll go, oh, that's a 10 millimeter.
You have to download the app?
You just have to have Twitter.
I do.
No, that's an advertisement. Click off that. Like you can download a standalone Grok app, but you can just use Grok from within Twitter. You don't need the app. That's like, just extra. So
But when I press it, it brings up, says Grok is here, try new features, deep search, think, edit image.
That's it. So where you see where it says ask anything?
Yeah.
Click on that and type away. You can make images.
All right.
Generate me an image of whatever you want an image of. You can upload images with that little paperclip symbol. You can do deep search is amazing because it will think out loud and go, Jericho wants to know about how the law works pertaining to getting a permit to open a pineapple stand. Okay, let me look this up here. And like I've read its deep search while it's thinking. It's insane. It says, okay, well, I tried that website and it didn't work. Oh, the website name was misspelled. Let me try and spell it this way. Okay, that worked. I actually saw it do that, where it figured something like that out. So it's kind of amazing. We are 1 minute into this movie. We got a boogie.
Smart little bastard, isn't it? Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So you do have to be careful. They do make mistakes occasionally because they are just trained on us. They're trained on language, right? They're just fed articles and books and queries and everything. And human beings make mistakes. Human beings lie. So you do have to go double check with a different source somewhere else to make sure if you really are, have a question about it. I've repaired my car with Grok. I have done computer programming stuff with Grok. I have done I was fixing the light switch in my kitchen. I went and turned on the lights in my kitchen and I heard an arcing noise, like a buzzing sound. And I wrote in Grok, hey, I got a light switch in my kitchen. It's making like a little fuzzy buzzing sound. What is that? Said, most likely the contacts in the switch are loose now from wearing out over the years. So the electricity is arcing. I said, oh, okay. So I went to the store and I bought the right things. My wires didn't have a green grounding wire, but the new switches I bought did have the grounding screw on it. And I said, hey, Grok. And I took a picture of the new light switch. Said, look at this light switch here. And then I took a picture of the wires. Said, look at these wires here. I got the black and the white, I don't have a ground. What should I do? Should I put these on the two brass? Should I put one on the green? Or what do I do here? Because I couldn't remember. And it told me how to do it. Then I double checked it somewhere else because it's electricity. You want to do it wrong. And sure enough, everything worked fine. So there you go. There are some things I won't do with Grok. Well, I'm telling you, you got to fix something around your house. You got a computer problem. Like shit, man. Like it can do a ton of stuff really fast. So it's like having C-3PO. It really is. It's like having a robot that lives with you that just has access to information, and it has live access to the internet. You can ask it right now, what's the score of this baseball game? And it'll go look it up and all that. So it'll have new, fresh data whenever you want to look into it. So
do anything for Grok if you won't do that.
Yeah. And it's free. So there you go. It's awesome. So, right. Because I asked Grok a question about this movie because you have that actress lady that he falls in love with in this movie. I'm like, did Wyatt Earp really just abandon his wife for this actress? It's like, no, it says there's a lot more nuance to it than that. They edited it for the movie. That woman was not an actress when he met her. She used to be an actress when she was young. And Maddie, the lady he's with at the beginning, wasn't really his wife. That was a prostitute who was his common law wife and blah, blah, blah. It told me the whole history of it, how it really worked.
And she was on drugs too.
She was a
junkie.
Laudanum addict. And laudanum is an opioid, right? It's basically liquid heroin and some other shit. So
they said you could get that shit by the bottle. They used to deliver bottles of cocaine door to door to housewives and shit with chores to do.
Hey, headache's gone. Talking a little fast,
Hey, honey, welcome home. I made dinner. I put the kids down to bed. They got
Jennifer Norwood brings up a very stinky observation here. People wore so many heavy fabrics in this era. They must have been sweltering. They must have stunk, these people.
Smell like shit.
But
they look so nice. They look nice. I love the fashion from this time.
Yes, debonair.
Back then, ladies wore dresses, and men wore suits and shit. You get all dressed up.
But everyone must have been ripe as hell, right? Like there was no deodorant.
Swamp ass for everybody. Come on, Tombstone. That looks hot as hell there.
And then they're wearing layers,
black suits,
and hats. And under the dress, the women wore the bustle, which I'm not even sure what that's for. I think it's to cover their shape, so you couldn't see their butt cheeks and everything like nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays, women wear clothes so tight you can see what they're thinking.
Dude, they have yoga pants with the back of it's like a butthole.
It's like sucking in the way it's stitched to suck.
It's like turning your butthole inside out.
I don't think that should be in public. I see stuff like that. I'm like, lady, what's your problem?
Dude, if you put her in a time machine with those yoga pants on and dropped her back in 1879, I bet a man would walk up to her and slap the shit out.
Right.
Like, why do you have those skin tight clothes on, you harlot?
Right.
But man, yeah, the ladies. I mean, that clam must have always been steaming back then. Because holy
no, these
hell.
people, you know. And then how are you hitting a shower in this day and age?
There's no shower.
You got to go to
sharing
the local.
You're sharing water in a tub that gets murkier and murkier as the people go on.
The barber, dentist, surgeon guy, and seeing if he has a tub you can sit in.
What do you need? You need your haircut. You need a shave. You need a tooth pulled out.
Right.
I need to go to a professional, sir. I remember. Was it Reddit? So on YouTube, you can look up Reddit. You know, scariest police stories, ER stories from doctors and nurses. And or the one I looked up one time was weird things that people saw when they spent the night over other people's houses growing up.
Oh boy.
And one of them, this person goes, I had this friend whose house I spent the night at only once, but they shared the bathwater. They filled the bathtub up one time.
No.
Dad, mom, and then kids going from oldest to youngest. And then they only used one towel for the whole family.
No.
They were like, bath time.
Why would you do that? It doesn't cost money to use more towels.
That is utterly disgusting.
How much is a shower's worth of water cost in actual dollars? Does it cost 32 cents to take a shower on your water bill?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it costs. We're doing it. And yeah, after dad, who wants to get in that water? Dad's balls and fucking ass flakes in there. And then mom. And oh my God, dude, it wasn't even water. After the third person, it was like giving your kid, your toddler, a bottle of water and then taking what's left in it, and it's probably mostly saliva and food bits. That shit was gross.
Tony says they would jump in a river and bathe with their undergarments on. Remember seeing this in Little House of Prayer? I do remember that.
But how often?
Yeah,
we're doing this every day.
That's not a great way to bathe, though.
And in the winter, you're not doing that.
No, you ain't doing shit in the winter.
So in the winter and the fall, so 6 months out of the year. You know, baths are secured unless you're rich and you're one of those uppity rich folks that got a tub in your house.
I shower once a week whether I need it or not.
Yeah. Ooh, aren't you fucking hoity-toity? So unless you had some dark-skinned person to haul buckets of water up into your bathtub, you weren't showering. You weren't bathing at least 6 months out of the year. It's starting to get cold in the fall. And what if you lived in somewhere like this in like Oklahoma?
Do you think this is an interesting thing to think? If you just grew up this way, since you're a little kid, you're a baby, and you just grow up and everyone stinks, then I guess it would be so normalized it wouldn't stink.
And they don't stink.
This would just be how it is. Because I don't think a rancher smells the cow shit all day. Like no, it's just the ranch. But when we city folk, we drive by the cow, we like, oh wow, yeah, there must be cows nearby. You know, but I don't think the rancher comes out on his front step and goes, "Oh, there must be cows around here or something."
It smells like shit. No, but I bet if somebody who just bathed, they walked in the bar, people like, "Ooh, you smell like ass, man. What the fuck is that?
You smell like gay Perry. What's that you got on, boy?"
Yeah, man, you're gonna get beat up going in after you take a bath.
Oh, he's one of them fancy boys.
Oh, he's got some sugar in his tank. Hold him down, boys. We're gonna whoop his ass. And all you did was take a bath. Yeah, I mean, everybody smells.
You know what?
Ass.
I couldn't want to. Okay, so Kara said she wouldn't want to use a chamber pot. I forgot those existed. Because what I don't want to do, I don't want to get up in the middle of the night. Like, say you drank a lot of water before you went to bed. You get up to pee at 2 a.m. or something, and you walk outside of the outhouse. This is why the chamber pot exists. I forgot about the chamber pot. So you didn't have to go through the bushes in the dark, get bit by some night creature.
Yeah, and get a rattlesnake bite in your dick.
Trying to take a piss in the middle of the night. Although if you're a guy, you just step outside and pee around the corner of the house. So.
Dude, open the window.
I feel like it's a below. Jericho, now this is a power move. Now I know you've done this. You are a homeowner. I am a homeowner. You peed in your backyard?
Yep.
There you go.
I had to stop my son from doing it. My son was a habitual backyard pisser.
Killing one of the bushes.
Dude, I'd get up in the morning and the sliding glass door to the backyard would be unlocked. And I lock it every night. Go through my house and lock all the doors.
Right. Every dad does that. Yeah. I do that too every night. Yeah.
Why is the sliding glass door unlocked? Come to find out, my wife gave him the green light to go out there and use the bathroom because he couldn't come in our room to use the bathroom because I would still be asleep. I had to work nights or something. And then his sister, of course, she's 12, 13 years old. Of course, she's in the bathroom in the morning. So he's like, fuck it.
So she's getting ready for the Oscars for 3 hours in the morning before school.
So
right?
he just said, fuck it, I'm going to the backyard. He started look forward to it. I'm like, quit pissing in
As
the
a man,
backyard.
it feels good. Like wow, I own this property. I could pee in this backyard if I feel like it.
Nobody can do nothing. You can do whatever you want to your house. You can paint shit.
Right.
You can move shit, knock shit out, as long as it's not a load-bearing wall.
Right. It's not a damn thing anyone can do about it.
Nothing. Even in California, nothing. That's right. Oh, you know, probably the worst part, because speaking of, Wyatt Earp's wife being, a prostitute or a former prostitute, I don't know how you put,
I mean, can you ever be a former? Can you ever be a former prostitute?
Yeah, man, that kind of sticks with you whole life. But what if you're one of those prostitutes?
I'm not a murderer, Jericho. I'm a former murderer. Let's get real Star Trek nerdy here. Everything is former if you're not currently doing it. Everything is in the past, even if you did it a minute ago.
But some things you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube in some cases.
Some stains you can't wash out.
You cannot. You shan't. But what if you're one of these prostitutes and you got these guys, man, they've been on the fucking trail for 2 months, man. I ain't bathed since September.
Oof.
And they fucking peel that thing back because nobody was getting cut on the regular back then. That's for fancy people. So you fucking peel that bad boy back? Come on, ladies.
That's an extra 100.
You were jumping on grenades back.
That's a lot of extra money.
Woo!
Yeah, that's it's a tough way to make a buck.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is. Ladies.
So, yeah.
Man,
so the bottom line is it's about 65 to 70 degrees here year round where I live. So
yeah, basically is what we're trying to say.
Oof.
But the greatest character in this movie, Doc Holliday, and his counterpart, she knew what was up.
Yeah.
This scene right here, the guy accuses him of cheating, and he stands up, and this is what I love.
A considerable jackpot, and the guy says, that's 12 in a row. Nobody gets that lucky.
Yeah, nobody gets that lucky.
As much as I love Val Kilmer, I tend to agree with the guy that has lost 12 in a row.
But you're insinuating that he's cheating, a.k.a. a liar. That's a big insult back then. So the guy stands up, getting all big and bad, and Val Kilmer, what's so cool about him is he's unflappable. The guy is sitting here basically threatening to kill him because that's what it was back then. It wasn't let's fight. If somebody's cheating in a card game, they're going to get shot. If somebody accuses you of cheating and you didn't, you're going to take offense and you're going to shoot them. So this is serious shit.
Yeah.
So the guy's talking shit. You fucking cheaters, basically what he's saying. And Val Kilmer's like, what the guy says? This is what he says. Well, you're a daisy if you do, because the guy's like fucking threatening him. We need to do something about this. You're a cheater. So the guy flinches, and Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday, has his guns out before that guy's done flinching.
Right.
Both of them. He has both guns out, twin barrels on this dude. The guy's 6 feet away. He can easily cut this dude in half because I'm sure that's a 45 or 44. There were only big slugs back then when it came to handguns. So, man, he got the drop on him. If he wanted to, he pulls the trigger, this dude's dead, and rightfully so, because you accused me of cheating. But he doesn't. This shows even more how more badass he is. So after he pulls the guns on this dude, he sits him down, makes the point clear, I could have killed you if I wanted to, sits both guns on the table, on the pot, on all the money and shit, and goes, now we can be friends again. And so fucking dude's cool as the other side of the pillow. Nothing gets this dude rattled. And so the guy, even though he gave him his life, like, I could have killed you, I didn't, let's keep playing. He makes a move for it. You think Kilmer's out of weapons? Of course not. Pulls a knife, sticks this dude. While he's sticking this dude, the bartender is about to get in the mix. And she's right there with a pistol to his head. You fucking touch that, you grab that shotgun, I'll blow your fucking head off. Don't even think about it. She got her man's back. She knows how this goes.
Now,
this
that's
is their
woman.
thing.
That's
yeah.
A woman right
She
there.
was smoked this dude. So fucking grabs the money. She puts the gun down. Man, clears off the table. They're going out. There's a bunch of money on another table. They grab all that fucking money and they're have a good evening. And they fucking take off, dude. And then they get outside. He's smoking a cigarette, fucking, and you could tell that this gets her off. This danger, this robbing people. She's like ready to go.
Wait, Jericho. Women like bad dudes?
Yes. Some call them bad boys.
Oh, bad boys. Bad boys. Okay.
And that's as old as time. This is the 1800s. Nothing has changed. And so, she's excited.
But Jericho, I've seen many a woman crying, sobbing to her sisters and girlfriends about how a bad boy had yet again broken her heart.
Well, that's the other side.
You would think they would learn eventually that it's unreliable rascals could do some real bad stuff.
Yeah. Guess what? Oh, he was an asshole. Really? You thought he was an asshole just to everybody else? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that's always been the case. But, man, they're a great team. She has his back. He does his thing, and then they're out the door. And then they end up in Tombstone. What a fucking cool name for a town, right?
None of the Myers says, I haven't met one yet that can tame me, but they keep trying.
They keep trying. It's good for you.
Paradox. Every woman wants to own her own personal lion. They want us to be an absolute monster, just not to her. It's beauty. Look at Beauty and the Beast. I mean, that's a perfect female fantasy right there. He's the beast. He's the man. He's got his palace. He's vicious, horns, claws. But she tames him into the loving, sensitive poet or whatever the hell he turns into. And then what? Leaves him, cheats on him because now he's boring. You know, that's why you got to keep it as a man. You
can't have it both ways. You can't have a guy who's always fighting everybody, who checks you out, but he's sensitive and we read books together and he braids my hair. That guy doesn't exist. It's
her girlfriend with a penis.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. That dude who's badass. Oh, he's so mysterious and you never know what he's gonna do. One day you're gonna be holding a fucking New York steak over your left eye. Because that's what comes with owning a lion. Yeah, he tears shit up, but occasionally he's gonna tear your ass up too.
It's like those magicians, those gay Germans in Vegas. What was Siegfried and Roy?
Siegfried and Roy
have the lions. And Manticore, the white tiger. It was tigers, not lions. Mm-hmm. He attacked one of those dudes, like bit him in the neck, almost killed him. Feel bad for the guy. That's awful. But I'm also like, it's a matter of time. You are with him all the time. This lion. It is a killer. It's kind of shocking it didn't happen sooner. I do feel bad for you.
And why did it bite him in the neck? Because millions of years of evolution.
Lion.
Because it tells them that's where the blood flow is, and they bite down. They actually have sensors in their teeth that can find your pulse, so they can adjust their bite to kill you faster. That's why it did that, because it's a wild animal, and that's what its DNA told it to do.
Right.
And I'm sure they fed these tigers fucking sides of Wagyu beef, and they brush their hair every day, and they have plenty of room, and they fucking jerk them off sometimes. These tigers are living they're living better lives than humans. But one day, it tried to kill you. Why? Because it's a fucking wild.
I'm gonna eat that German magic man. You watch.
So they're so nice and had them since they were babies. They bottle fed him. Oh, we swam in the swimming pool together. And it still tried to kill you because that's what it is. You can't undo that. Yeah. You got to wait for a while. It was good for a while, but man, I got to kill something. And these dummies keep walking over here next to me, so I'll kill one of them.
Right.
Fuck them up.
Yeah, that's
because I love you. I love you. I never even asked for your papers.
That's the line we have to walk as men. Because you don't want to be a pushover and a weak guy. You don't want to be a nice guy. Being nice is one of the worst things you could be as a man. But you don't want to be a scoundrel. You don't want to have 10 children with 10 women across the land, and then your wife's at home crying about it. But you got to be a badass. You do have to be a badass. And you find that line as a man and you walk it. You know, what you do is you find appropriate times to be aggressive. You know, it's called self-control. You know, so it's a fine line. You don't always get it right, but you got to get it right more often than you get it wrong.
Time and place for everything.
Because being nice, being a puss, that's a life sentence for you and your wife and your whole family. Well, I don't know, honey. He took our parking spot. What'll I do? Mm-hmm. I remember I used to live in Colorado, and I'd come out here with my family for vacations because her family's out here. And we went to the beach, La Jolla Shores, one of the nicest beaches. It's my beach. That's where I go all the time when I go to the beach. There's a little parking lot there. It's a very bougie, rich neighborhood. And this is the thing I will not abide. People standing in a parking spot. So they're so-and-so on the cell phone 5 minutes away can come and get the spot. Nope, you can't do that. You can't stand in the parking spot. So I drive 1,100 miles from Colorado to California, take my wife and kids to the beach, my little kids at the time. They're adults now. And these punk-ass teenagers are in the spot. And I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to park here. And they're like, ooh, and they're mouthing off to me. Now, I am 6'4", and I like lifting weights a lot. I really like lifting weights a lot. And I like eating a lot of protein, Jericho. You've met me in person. they shouldn't do this to guys like me. And you don't know. I'm in a car. I'm sitting. You don't know what I'm really like. So these boys are getting real slick with me. I get out of the car, dude. Their eyes get like Sasha, like, hey, man, we'll move.
Yeah, you fucking little bastard.
So that's appropriate. I did not threaten them. I did not do anything funny. I just got out of the car, like, we can talk about it. We can talk about it, boys. And
that's not me doing that shit.
So you stay within the law, but you are appropriately, having boundaries, we'll say.
Yeah, you don't fucking do that. You don't hold a parking spot. You're not a vehicle.
No, that's
can't stand that shit when people do that.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah. So sorry.
People suck.
Right. So, anyways, the Earp brothers are coming with the banjo on their knee. They're coming in with their lay days. There's 3 Earp brothers: Wyatt, Morgan, and Virgil. I don't know who's the oldest. I assume.
I think Sam.
I think it's well in real life he looks like the oldest.
Yeah, I'm old enough to drink some Coors.
Coors. The banquet beer.
Coors. It's not Coors. Everybody says Coors. Maybe it is Coors.
So they're coming into town and they're gonna state their claim. Now Wyatt Earp is already a legend at this point. He was the
lawman,
the big dog from what? It was it Dodge City, Kansas City, where
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Fucking Kansas City, man.
What was he there? He was the marshal or the sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was a marshal.
He was some Billy badass, and he was, kicking ass and taking names. So he's got this reputation that precedes him, but he doesn't want that life anymore. He doesn't want to deal with all the death that's associated with all the violence, all the he's got a woman now, this prostitute that he's not married to, but sort of common law married to, Maddie, I think.
Yeah, he wants to settle down with his junkie.
Yeah, with his heroin junkie. He's going to settle down.
Yeah.
And comes into town and meets this guy. What's his name? Beelan? It's something with a B.
Bean?
Something like that. Behan.
Behan.
I think it's Behan.
Sure,
is that Scottish or Irish, right? Something like that.
He was also known as Sheriff Pussy. That's what
right. Yeah. Sheriff Twinkle Toes over there.
Punk ass. Sheriff Spineless. Well,
he's what we call a Southern dandy.
Yeah, man, that shit ain't cool. How are you going to be the sheriff and you can't even keep charge of your town?
Yeah.
That.
Well, he said he was like the county sheriff, so he wasn't the
he wasn't
in charge of the town. He was in charge of the region. So this is not my problem, is what he said.
Dude, the town's in your region. You sent that fucking old man in there? Fuck
right.
That.
Yeah. What was his name? Joe Webb or Joe West or something like that. You got to
sent that fucking old man out there, man. What a bitch.
Yeah. So anyway, Wyatt Earp gets to town, introduce himself. Everybody knows who he is. And he's like, well, we're going to set up. We don't even have a place to stay. And he's saying, well, I'm the land agent. I'm the mayor. I'm the dog catcher. I'm the Benihana chef for the teppanyaki. This guy's everything.
I do it all. What do you need?
Beelan or what? Behan, something.
Behan.
And he says, but don't go over there to the Oriental. He's like, that place is a damn slaughterhouse. Like it's a horrible bar and poker room and all that stuff. So of course, Wyatt Earp's like, well, I'm going to go right in there where you told me not to go.
Yeah. Because that's where he can make his money. That's where his talents are.
Right.
A bad area or a bad environment, rough and tumble. Yep, that's where I need to go because that's where I can use my maybe not law enforcement, but definitely bring in order.
Yeah, like this stuff is so crazy because this is the 1870s, 10 years after the Civil War. And my grandfather was alive when this man died because he died in 29 in real life. Mm-hmm. Wyatt Earp died in Los Angeles, California, like 1929. My grandfather was born in 1918. So my grandfather was 11 when this guy passed away. That is wild. Because when you think about the cowboy days, it just seems like fantasy. It's real, but it just like it seems like it has nothing to do with our age that we live in. But a person I knew, my grandfather, was alive while this guy was alive. Crazy. So I don't know. Stuff like that's a trip to me.
Yeah, it's a trip, man, that you're so closely connected to that. Like you spoke to somebody or knew somebody who was from, a time when somebody from this era was still alive. So he goes in there. He knows he can, basically hustle. He goes in there. Of course, there's some dickhead at the table. He's causing problems. He's punking people, bullying everybody. He goes right up to him, punks his ass, slaps him. Not only does he verbally insult him, but then he slaps him in his face.
He humiliates him.
Dude, back then, you slap a man, if he pulled his gun and killed you, everybody in the bar would totally understand.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's what he tells him, skin that smoke wagon. He's like, what are you going to do? You get to work. You know, let's do it. Let's go. Because of course he's punking everybody else, but you get somebody to challenge him, like most bullies. He withers, you know, fucking like a flower with no water. Dude, he's done. So then
always
after
a bigger bully. Always a bigger bully.
Punks him, slaps him, takes his gun, just fucking neuters this guy in front of the whole bar. Literally takes him and throws him out in the fucking street. And he says, then don't come back ever. Then he goes up to the owner of the place and goes, 25% of the money.
Pharaoh is the name of that game. Faro.
Yeah.
I don't know how you play it, but it's the Pharaoh table.
Yeah, he says 25% of the earnings. Sound about right? The guy's like, yeah, it is. So now that place that was a horrible, you know, rough and tumble, you know, back alley bar, now there's some order established there. Now we can open it up to more clientele, and
customers are going to want to come because it's semi-safe because you got this badass Wyatt Earp running things.
So day one, he finds his hustle and uses his law enforcement skills, and now they have income.
Right.
Just like that. Enough for all of them. 25%? That place is going to be fucking cracking.
Right.
And these are the two guys.
Right. So the guy with the long hair next to the guy with the bowler hat, the two guys inside of the guy with the bowler hat, they come out of a bar and they shoot a guy and kill him. One of them shoots him. And the guy with the mustache and no hat, the hat in his hand, he's shot in the ear. But the sheriff there or whatever, the city sheriff in the white shirt and the vest on the left, he's like, basically, it's all good because that guy insulted you, said you were cheating at cards, and he tried to fight you, so you shot him in self-defense or whatever. So you're introduced like, wow, this is brutality. And if you know anything about the West, I've studied a ton of Western stuff. One of my good friends is one of the premier Western authors in America. His name is Peter Brandvold. He writes about 6 Westerns a year. Love his books. I have a ton of them. And I got really into Westerns like 2006, 7 when I met Peter, like 2005. I'd go and have dinner at his house. He was one of my comic book writer friends was friends with Peter Brandvold, the Western author. So going back like 20 years, I learned so much about the West. And I didn't know about the absolute brutality. It was like life was worthless. Mm-hmm. Life was so cheap. I remember learning, and we talked about this before, Jericho. You'd be hung for stealing a horse.
Dude, dead.
That's crazy. Like, that's like stealing a car now. They don't kill you for stealing a car.
But back then, your horse was a lifeline. If you didn't have a horse and you lived in a rural area, how the fuck are you going to get to town? How are you going to till your fields? How are you going to move heavy shit? How are you going to travel maybe to the next farm? Like a horse was everything. There wasn't no public transit. There wasn't all just catch a ride. There was no fucking Uber. That horse was everything. And for you to, because you're in some cases, I mean, you probably starve somebody or their family if you stole their horse. Fuck that. I like that part of the West. The law and order part of the West. I don't mind that because you don't do shit like that. And in order for the sheriff, imagine nowadays some guy says, man, you're a liar. Bang, you kill him. You think a cop's going to walk up to you and go, well, you got to give me your gun. No guns in town. Have a good day. No, you're going to jail, murder charges, all that shit.
Bail, investigation, trial 9 months from now.
And a jury of your peers, my ass. Right. And it depends on how bad the local media drug you through the mud if you can get a fair trial. Right. But these guys, in order for it to be okay in the eyes of general society for you to shoot somebody over that, there had to be a level of honor and integrity that you had to possess yourself to be so offended that you would take a gun and kill somebody for disparaging your fucking name, for calling you a liar. To us nowadays, that's no reason to kill anybody. But back then, it was. Right. Your name, your reputation was everything. So there had to be a level of honor amongst people more than today for that to offend you to a level where I'm going to kill you. And it's going to be okay because everybody knows, oh, you insulted him.
So then we get this. I kind of have a problem with this in the movie. I don't like it. My wife really didn't like it.
I knew you would.
No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good storytelling. The movie quality is good. I'm saying, like, just think about it. It's like, I don't like this. But an acting troupe comes to town and they're going to play the local theater in this Silver Rush town. So we have a real fancy boy with wavy hair there. Mm-hmm. He's the villain from Titanic, which is a movie I will never see. I've never seen Titanic, and I made a promise to myself that I will never see it. Yes.
I mean, you ain't missing nothing.
No.
I mean, it is a good movie and everything, but the end part
here's why I never want to see Titanic. Because like the Princess Bride kind of thing, in 1998, when Titanic was ruling the box office for like 6 months.
Dude, and Celine Dion.
I love that song. My Heart Will Go On. That's a great song.
But it was everywhere.
Right. But the people would not shut up about this movie to the point where it's like, you know what? I never want to see this movie because I'm so irritated by it. Never seen it, never want to. So there you go.
I think you would enjoy it. I think if you watched it with Adrian, that she'd definitely have a box of Kleenex.
She's never seen it. She's never seen it. And as an Arab man, I will not allow her to see it.
You will not. But I mean, hey, like I said, you guys can go to the great beyond without seeing this.
I don't need to see it. No.
But that song, if there was a country version, it would have been on the country station too. That song was everywhere. Oh my god,
great song.
But she's an amazing singer. She has that big voice.
Oh,
that big Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, that big ass voice where they effortlessly sing. I barely did. But they can sing these amazing songs because that song was huge. But it was to the point where, just like you said, people were talking about the movie, hearing that every station, classic, alternative, classic rock, soft rock, pop. It was fucking everywhere. Oh,
yeah.
God. So, it was pretty sickening at one point. But what a great song.
Yeah.
So,
no Titanic for me. No.
But, man, if anything, Gabe, if you're ever on YouTube, or the next time you're on YouTube, just look at the crash scene after they hit the iceberg. That shit is fucking great.
No, I know the joke. Everyone's like, he could have fit on that door with her. Like, it's stupid.
But not even that part. The part where the boat's sinking.
I've seen little
splitting
clips.
apart.
You can't avoid that.
That shit's fucking cool.
That was filmed off the coast here, not San Diego, but Baja, just south of here. And my brother-in-law had a place in Ensenada, which is like an hour from San Diego or less. And for years, like you could see some of that stuff out there. And I think Pirates of the Caribbean stuff was filmed there. Am I confusing that? I know some of those big boat wrecks were filmed off there. Also, I told you the boat from Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, the great Russell Crowe movie. That boat is here. That boat is in the harbor here in San Diego. You can go on that boat, pay a couple bucks, and go look at it. So
that shit's cool. I like when they restore things like that.
Look at this. Just trying to tell me I have to watch Titanic. Never, Tony. I made an oath to myself. I made a ridiculous, pointless oath, and I can't stop it now. It's almost 30 years. So.
Yeah, I like when they restore stuff like that so you can literally walk into history and see how things were, see how small the doorways are and shit, and how they cooked and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I went on the Star of India. It's like an over 400-year-old fishing vessel right here in San Diego too. I went on. It's a famous ship here, Star of India. My son went on a field trip there, but I go and eat at a restaurant called Miguel's there.
Selling, you said Star of India.
Star of India. The Star of India.
Starving.
And the beds were like dresser drawers. Like, how short were these people? Like, hi ho,
Mountain Earth.
It's off to work we go. Like they're living like
scurvy. They had scurvy and rickets. They could fit in a fucking drawer. They're probably kids anyway. Kids had to do all kinds of fucked up shit back then. No child labor laws for you, buddy. You're getting up with dad going to the coal mine.
Tony's like trying to make me watch it. No, Tony, you have to understand. I made a ridiculous, pointless oath to myself, and I'm almost 30 years in now. This is the sunk cost fallacy. I can't give it up now. The oath is so meaninglessly important to me. It is ridiculous, and that's the beauty of it. That's why I like it.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I support you.
Jericho understands what I'm doing.
Fuck that.
There's a method to my madness.
It's not. I mean, if you felt that way about, fucking Predator or something like that, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? But
Titanic is the only movie I swore to myself I would never watch.
Fuck the Titanic.
The one movie list.
If you have the song, it's good enough.
No,
you get it.
I love the song. I have it on I listen to it.
Yeah, you get it. Oh, speaking of big voices,
I was just listening to Celine Dion yesterday, the Power of Love, which is interesting because my favorite Huey Lewis song is The Power of Love. And
dude, she had so many fucking hits.
Yeah.
90s,
I'm your lady, and you are my man. Whenever you reach for me, I will do all that I can.
That's one of those classic love songs. 25 remastered for $9.99.
Right.
That late night, you wake up, you fell asleep watching TV, and then Celine Dion's on there, and there's some couple running slow motion on the beach. that song is fucking perfect. But speaking of those big voices, I saw a clip with Whitney Houston, and somebody was comparing her. It was the early '90s. Someone's comparing her to Mariah Carey, and she did this little. She's like, well, Mariah Carey's more like this, and she did this run. But the way she did it was like, there are girls who want to sing who would kill their next door neighbor to sound like that. Yeah. And she just fucking threw it away like, no, it's like this, blah, 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 blah. And it sounded amazing. And she was just so effortless. And like, man, people like that.
One of the greatest ever. Yeah, Whitney Houston.
Wow.
Yeah. No, but I know the whole story of Titanic, because how could you live in our world and not know it?
Yeah.
You got the cruise ship, you got the rich guy, you got his girlfriend, and then a very disturbing thing, a black pill that all men have to face one day is, women's idea of romance is cheating on the guy they're with for a better guy, and then lying to themselves and the world and rationalizing, well, the first guy was an asshole, so it's not really cheating. That's every romance for women. It's really disgusting when you look at it.
Fucking peasant, lice-ridden fucking turd.
She's got the rich guy, but he was a meanie weenie, and then Leonardo DiCaprio. And then the bummy ass bitch, Leonardo DiCaprio, doesn't have two fucking nickels to rub together.
Yeah, he has fucking lice and fleas. Right. He's down there with the commoners fighting over scraps.
He draws her naked and he dances with her and he has sex with her. And then she has the $1 million necklace, diamond, whatever the shit it is.
Yeah.
And then she's married to another guy who doesn't know about her peasant lover from 100 years ago. And then she throws the fucking diamond, whatever, in the ocean and doesn't give it to her heirs. She deserves to go to hell, this woman.
Somebody should have pushed her off the boat when she did that.
Awful human being. And let her lover, the peasant, drown.
Yeah, she goes, I'll never let go.
So she's
literally
worthless.
Yeah,
she's a terrible person.
You know, you crack an ice tray. That's how she cracked him off of that fucking frozen door and just flung him into the
She's
abyss.
An awful, awful person, and I'm glad she's miserable, and I hope she stays miserable. She deserves it.
She's long gone now. So she is fucking.
Just imagine, like, every fucking woman's thing is like, my guy's bad, so I get to cheat on him.
But he wasn't. It's like he was smacking her around. He was just a prick.
No, Jericho, he doesn't listen. He doesn't pay attention. Therefore, I get to cheat on him, and it's justified.
Yeah, but he's not paying attention to you inside of a mansion.
Oof.
And you have the finest fabrics gracing your skin. Look
at Heather trying to stick up for this cheating whore. The mother wanted her to marry a rich man. Do you have a problem with that? I want my daughters, if I have daughters, I want them to marry rich men. Yes, men are providers. Yes. Yeah. But she wasn't in love with him. What is Leonardo DiCaprio going to do for her, Heather, when the car breaks? And he doesn't have fucking dollars.
He's not going to have a car because he's a fucking peasant.
I'm sorry he couldn't spin her around dancing and draw her butt naked.
Peasant.
I'm sorry he could only buy her 10 houses instead of draw her ass.
Yeah, any good. They're starving.
By the way, I'm an artist defending this,
Dude, they're starving. Their stomachs are grumbling, and he goes, "Hey, want to dance?
Hey, let me spin you around instead of having dinner.
You forget all about your fucking ribs showing. Let me spin you around the dance floor.
Why don't we spin those bones around this dance floor?
Yeah, I know when you lay down, you can see your hip bones, but hey, let's dance. I'll draw you." Yeah.
See, Heather, she's like, I would have married the rich guy. Yeah. She would have tolerated her summer home in Italy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And once she's ran through by Jack and she has a bunch of crumb snatching mongrels, then she'll go crawling back to the asshole because now I need your money. Just like people say Jason Voorhees and Freddy and Mike Myers and Darth Vader and maybe even Kathy Bates from Misery. These are all the top villains, the bad guys, of cinema. But I challenge you, and I say Jenny from Forrest Gump. That bitch,
the worst.
That bitch had Forrest Gump. This dude's a war hero. He's an entrepreneur. He's been in the White House. He's kind to her. Would never lay a hand on her unless it was in a romantic fashion. Would never raise his voice. He's a millionaire. He's at least tens of millions of dollars from his shrimp business. Yeah, he can spend his time with you. You can have everything you want, but no, I'm going to go around the world and be a whore and show my body to the world for free. Then I'm going to be like, well, why are these guys trying to grab my tits? I'm only up here naked. And then I'm going to be a hippie and let this dude literally smack me around, kick my ass. I'm going to fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm going to get on drugs. And then I'm going to come back to you, AIDS, Forrest Gump. Yeah. Well, I'm getting to that part. And I'm going to come back to you, Forrest Gump, down this long driveway to this beautiful plantation home lined by the sycamore trees. And I'm holding my knees together so the jizz doesn't run out from all these dudes. And, oh, yeah, hand me a handkerchief. That's my blood. I have AIDS. What?
Jedi.
Fuck that. Darth Vader. Jason Voorhees, get out of the way because we have the number one all-time villain, Jenny.
All right. None the Miser brings up an interesting point here of genealogy. Jenny is Rose's daughter. Makes a lot of sense. The apple doesn't fall far from the whore.
Dude. She went around the world and got banged and beaten. And now she comes back.
Jennifer says Heather isn't wrong. Parents back then were hoping to. No, Jennifer, parents right now are hoping their daughter's married rich
today.
guys.
What time is it?
Right now. Wednesday, April 9th at 9:16. If you don't have money, don't not talk to my daughter. Don't look at her if you don't have money. Don't think about her if you don't have money. Get the fuck away. Like, get away. Like, no, I don't need a
If she sneezes, don't say bless you.
Yeah, get lost.
Just keep moving.
If you're a man and you don't know how to make money, get away from me. Get away from my kids. Get away from us.
Yeah, lots of money. A good guy.
Fucking another mouth to feed. You're 30 years old playing a fucking Nintendo Switch wearing pajama pants at the store.
That cookie, babe, when you on your way back. You know what? Sweetheart.
Babe, they got Slurpees for $1. Can you pick me up one? I gotta beat this level right now.
Babe, can I use your debit card so I can get some, so I can level up on my game? Wait, don't knock over.
Babe, I need to buy the new armor set for Call of Duty. Can you give me like $4?
Yeah, I only need like $4.
Babe, can you give me some weed from the dispensary?
Babe, on your way back. What on your way back? I want my daughter to find somebody like me with millions of dollars. That's what I want.
Right.
Because I've heard people ask that question. I posed that question to fathers. Would you be okay with your daughter marrying you, a man just like you? I would be totally fine.
Yes, of course.
Totally.
Let's see this. I wouldn't have liked Jack. He was thinking, yeah, right, Heather. He would have spun you around and you would have left.
Yeah, but once he spun you around and drew your body.
To draw you. By the way, Heather, I'm an artist. And I'll say I know all about drawing women. Okay, I'll just tell you that.
Let me draw you. Oh,
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this: as an artist, it works.
Yeah,
it works.
Fuck that. Jack was a scumbag, and so she could sneak away, so he could bang her in a hallway somewhere by the fire axe. Disgusting.
If he's not rich, for sure. Your daughter can be with a guy that isn't rich.
Yeah.
But he
Catch
must
him on the way up.
Currently working on it in a sincere,
someone who's ambitious.
Full-throated way, like he has a plan and he is currently executing it. Not gonna do it one day, not working on it 5 years from now. No. He's in the middle of working on it right now. Yeah. Absolutely.
Who's ambitious, who has a plan. Perfect, yeah. Help him build that fortune. Awesome.
She's very strict on bathing. Jack is out. Okay, Heather. Jack takes his once-a-week bath, then wants to spin.
Yeah, right after. And he even rolled it back and cleaned underneath it.
He comes to your room with the towel around his neck.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. He's all, you ready to spin?
You ready? You want to spin or draw?
You gotta give up a fortune with Billy Zane so I could spin you around the peasant deck of the ship.
Do women have post-nut clarity? Is she gonna wake up and be like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? Or is that not possible for women?
If I could get this in, you can't do this. You cannot get this into women's brains because there's nothing wrong with women. It's just a sex difference. As men and women are mirror images. I always say this. Right hand, left hand, same thing, but reversed. That's why we're complementary. Women love attention because they want provision, protection. You know what I mean? We're provider, protector. That's what attention is a signal for, right? Men, we don't want attention. We don't value it all. And women like, dude, you guys screw yourselves up because you mistake attention for like long-term attention. You got to understand, our attention can be one night.
Yep.
It's not real. It's a smoke screen.
Yeah, hold out, ladies. Hold out.
Yeah. If you meet a guy, okay, this is a sign, ladies. If you meet a guy and he has like how Batman has that belt with all those gadgets in it, If you meet a guy and he has like ninja smoke bombs in the belt, don't talk to him. He uses those on women. After he's done, smoke out the window.
Gone.
Out the window.
Next thing you know, you're pissing on a stick and you can't find him.
Right. And he just ninja bombed his way out of there.
So, yeah, definitely hold out, ladies.
Yeah.
Some standards.
Yeah.
Because
attention
if you give it up too quick,
don't fall for that. I see so many women. Oh my God. Oh yeah. No, attention for men. You're not special. I'm not saying
easy. It's too easy to come by.
Here's our standards. Jericho, you're going to back me up on this. All men, you can stereotype us. Our standards for sex are the same standards dogs have for what they'll eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I used to have dogs that would eat cat shit.
My dog would prefer I give him my ribeye. He will also eat a chewed up meatball I spit out of my mouth at him.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure will. And he'll
eat
his
some
balls.
Dead thing he finds outside.
Yeah. He'll eat a dead lizard.
Yeah.
He'll fucking lick his ball sack in his butthole.
Right.
And you know what? Look, there's 3 words. And ladies, when I tell you this, believe me, okay? I have 44 years. Would you believe somebody if they told you about a book that they read every day for 44 years? Would you believe that they know all the words in that book? Of course you would. So I've been doing this for 44 years, this guy thing. So I'm telling you this. Here's 3 words. These are a man's standards. And I'm just saying most men. There's some men out there that you don't even need to meet this standard.
Okay.
This is, some men won't even care about this. Is it clean? That's it. We're not talking well manicured. Oh my God.
I thought you would say, is she alive?
Is there a pulse? Let's go. And some dudes, yeah, but most guys, if it's clean, I didn't shave. That doesn't matter. Is it clean? Let's go. That's it. So to get attention from somebody whose standards you could step over.
Yeah.
It's not, don't do it. It's too easy. Don't do it.
Don't like getting attention is a trick. Like you think like, oh my God, I'm getting attention. Like the guys will give any woman.
It's easy to come by. And a guy, if a girl, the first time you meet her, she gives it up. You ain't special. You're not the extra handsome. None of that. You ain't the first one that she didn't know you existed on the planet 12 hours ago. And now she's letting you insert yourself inside her body. That's not the first time she's done that. Run. Right? Yeah. Run. Oh, but then your buddy goes, hey, wait. Come back. It's been a while, huh? What do you want to do? You want to go home and choke me? Or you want to go with her and get inside?
I feel so sorry for people in the dating world, man. What an absolute disaster. What a fiasco.
While your dick's telling you that.
Think about this, though. Dating didn't exist until after World War II. Like it did, but not as a mainstream thing. Like you were supposed to court, talk to her dad, talk to her brother, go sit in her living room, sip some tea, and then go home. You weren't supposed to be alone with ladies. That's it's always like, hey, you don't go alone with the lady. You're not married, blah, blah, blah. That's improper in every society on earth, basically. And you know what? What if we just let hormone-filled teenagers hang out in cars? They decided that was a good idea in the 50s. You know what? Probably nothing will happen. Here's how you know that's bullshit. We got the pandas at the San Diego Zoo. They always announce it. We just got new pandas. Pandas are going extinct. We need them to mate. We need baby panda cubs. What are we gonna do? Do you know they get more pandas, Jericho?
They get 2 pandas together and let them do what pandas do.
They put a male panda in the cage with the female panda. Do you know what else they do?
Walk away.
Nothing. So I feel like the dating thing is a mistake. I think it's a real bad idea. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's been glamorized, over the years. Billy and Tanya, steaming up the back of the 57 Bel Air, at the drive-in. That's nostalgic. Well, but as the father of a daughter, hey, let's go further back in time. The further we go back, the more I enjoy it. You couldn't even shake her hand until you were getting married. Right. You didn't even see each other until your wedding day. I'm down for that.
Well, Jennifer, away from her. I'm not saying teenagers didn't invent until the 50s. I'm saying us as a society endorsing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to prom, be home by 1. Dude, have you met teenage boys? Come on. They're not thinking about anything.
You ever seen a dog humping something, all right, do that thing where like they morph, take that humping dog and morph him into a 16-year-old human. Same thing. Different, different.
Like,
it looks different. Same thing on the inside.
Jennifer, because we know how teenagers are, we kept them apart as much as we could. I'm not naive. People have been fooling around since day one.
That's how we keep showing up.
Remember, I'm Exhibit A. I had a child at 18. I'm and I tell you guys, I'm shocked it took me till I was 18. That's a mystery to me why I wasn't a father sooner. But it's not great. This whole idea of let them go alone when they're 15, 16. We didn't do that until after World War II. It was around, but like it wasn't endorsed. It's endorsed and encouraged now. It's madness. It's really not a great idea.
But there is a complete difference in the way you feel about your son and your daughter. You and I both have a son and a daughter.
Right.
And it's just, if you put them in the same situation, the same exact situation with the same exact people at the same time on the same day, you would feel completely different if your son was there versus your daughter. It's going to be more, to your son, it's more of a, hey, be smart, there's a couple bucks. With your daughter, it's like, I'm going to stay here with you. Matter of fact, here, handcuff, you're staying with me. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody looks at you, I'll fucking tear their throat out. It's same room, same people, same time, same day, just fucking different.
Oh, Jennifer was not saying what I thought. Sorry. She's saying, I just mean the label thing. They became a demographic. I've heard that the concept of a teenager wasn't a thing until the 50s. Yeah, that's when it starts going downhill culturally, where we have this extended adolescence where we encourage people to be party, dating, drinking, whatever, just having a good time from about age 15 till about age, you call it 40, 50, 60. Like people start partying in high school and they don't want to ever stop. No marriage, no kids, nothing. Just like, hey, I'm still like, look at, there used to be a store, I think they went out of business, called Forever 21. Like that was the sentiment. Like, this is who you are, Forever 21. Like, yeah. So
hey, how about this one? You hear a lot, and I don't think it's happening more. I think just because we just hear everything more, social media and internet, we hear everything more. I don't, you hear people say, well, there's more perverts now. No, we just hear about them. There's always been the same amount of these demons. But you hear a lot about these teachers banging students, more specifically, decent to hot female teachers banging male students. And again, that difference, when you hear that story, you feel different when it's a male student. You're not going to look at that woman as the aggressor.
I think it's bad. I think either way,
for sure. It's bad. I'm not saying it's not bad, but a female teacher sleeping with a 17-year-old male student, you're going to have different feelings from a male teacher sleeping with a 17-year-old female student. That's going to be different. You're going to look at the man more predatory. You're going to look at the woman more of a doe in the woods versus a 17-year-old young man where you're like, is it the same kind of damage? He's a young man. He's
I won't repeat
18.
it, but Adam Carolla had the funniest thing. He said, if I was defending one of these female teachers, this was my defense in court. I'm not going to repeat it, but what he said was really inappropriate. I'll text it to you.
But I mean, honestly, your 17-year-old son has sex with his 35, 40-year-old female teacher.
No, I'd want the lady in jail. I would. No.
I would too, but I wouldn't feel the same if it were.
If it was your daughter, now you want the guy.
Yeah,
not in jail, somewhere else.
Yeah, now I'm gonna Jack Ruby this fool when they're taking him out of the
real different than jail.
Right? You'd want blood if it was a man. With a woman, you'd still want her to be punished, but you wouldn't have that feeling of wanting to fucking kill her.
Right.
Because it's just different.
Yeah. No, for sure, dude. And with your son, you're like, what are you doing? You come home like smack him in there.
But with your daughter, it's just different, man. It's just, and those differences are good. We should treat our men and women or boys and girls differently.
So
life treats them different.
No, for the female teacher, it's like jail. For the male teacher, it's like, it's time we punch your card, buddy. That's enough. That's enough for you.
Yeah. And we might punch it now. I need to sleep on it.
Yeah.
I might punch your shit now.
That's enough, bro.
and then sleep like a baby.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now, since it is 9:30 and we are 3 minutes in, I'm going to speed run a big bulk of the center here. We'll pause on some real good
We're
stuff.
like 2 minutes in.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Actors come to town. This guy's a little dandy. And I think one of the guys from Beverly Hills 90210 has a beard and round glasses.
Jason Priestley.
And he has a crush on this guy that they only show like 2 brief things to hint at it. So there's a whiff of wokeness in this movie. Like, oh, we have to add gayness to this because reasons, because it's
Hollywood. Because even so, later in the movie, why give a shit that he's mad? Why do I give a fuck that this dude, this character
that nobody knows, but we have to like, hey guys,
why do I fucking care? Like that, then that's when Johnny Ringo should have pulled out his gun and shot somebody. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you think. You're a little reporter. Do that. I don't know what you think about what's going on here. But old Billy Zane.
Yeah, good old Billy boy. He really
Billy
got us
Zane.
on a tangent there about the horrible woman from Titanic. A movie I will never watch.
I shall not.
You couldn't pay me to watch it, Jericho. You could offer me $10,000. I wouldn't watch that fucking movie.
I'd watch that shit for 10 grand.
I can make 10 grand. I can make 10 grand.
Yeah, or we could just hand it to you and you just watch a 2.5 hour fucking.
I'm almost at 30
story.
years. Almost at 30 years on my streak of not watching this movie. I can't break
50 grand right now to not reach a 30-year streak. You're doing it.
I can make 50 grand. I could do that.
Yeah, but it can also just be handed to you very quickly.
What's my dignity worth? I made an oath to myself.
It's worth $50,000.
I made an oath to myself for no apparent reason.
I bet you if I had a stack of $50,000 with $100 bills, that oath would disappear. Like fucking steam. That shit would just dissipate into the atmosphere.
There's a number, but I don't think 50. I don't think 50 is it. There's a number. I don't think 50 is it.
No, hell yeah, that's it. You'd see that stack of money and be like, sweetheart, we're going out.
I'm just saying.
You put on your top hat and your jacket with the tails, and you guys are going out on the town. A long cartoonish Rolls Royce is going to pull up.
You know what I wouldn't do with that money? I would not book a cruise on a very large cruise ship. I wouldn't.
That's fine, but you would take the money. A cartoonishly long Rolls Royce would pull up for it would take a minute for the whole car to pull up, and then
would it be a cartoon wolf would be driving the limo?
Yeah, and then when your wife walks out, he goes, "Ahooga," and his eyeballs pop out. Yeah, you guys get real fancy out of the town with that brand new $50,000.
Take the money and watch for the historical aspect. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, that's my final offer. I'm not offering more than 50.
No. Maybe we get to 6 figures, I'll think about it.
Hell no.
Okay, then hell
it's
no.
It's not worth that much.
Right, you're right. It's not worth
it. To me, it's not. But you would take 50 grand cash for sure.
No, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
not worth
it. That would buy you a significant amount of time off, and you would spend it with Big Baby, and spend probably most of the $50,000 on it.
None of mine just says the Earp Clanton feud didn't even last this long.
I think so.
Sorry, there's a jet plane flying by my house. Did you hear that? It was very loud.
I did. There's a train that's about a mile from our house,
and
we hear it pretty loud here. But there are houses that there's a fence to their backyard, and then the train tracks. So I can only imagine what that shit sounds like.
You get used to it, don't you? Because when I lived in Colorado,
I don't know, man.
We lived 2 blocks from the train tracks. You couldn't hear it at night after living there for a few weeks.
No, I'm talking 50 feet, 25 to 50 feet from the train tracks. And I can hear it a mile away pretty well.
Wow.
Like very well. If the window's open, you have to turn the TV up. So I can only imagine being, less than 100 feet from that thing. They must have to hold their dishes in the cabinet.
A sequel to Titanic, but it's on a train. And she does that shit again.
Train-tanic.
Train goes off a mountain. She doesn't save the little peasant boy she's sleeping with, drawing pictures of her butt again.
Raw, too. She's sleeping with him raw. There were no condoms on that boat. You're disgusting. You're letting that peasant go in you raw dog.
Fucking hasn't showered in a month. He probably wasn't even that good at drawing either. Just
he drew. You ever see those pictures where they'll take an artist and then he'll take various drugs and you see what the picture turns out like? It's probably all fucked up. She's like, well, I guess I like it. What's that?
Some guys, man. Some guys are such scoundrels. They just spin a woman around and then there you go. That's it.
Dude, it was probably so bad. It would be like when your kid brings you a picture and like when they're 5 and you're like, what's that? What's that? And they're like, they have to explain to you what everything is. That drawing probably looked fucking terrible.
Another man says, Titanic 2, the berg is back.
This summer, the berg.
The iceberg destroys a train somehow, comes out of the ocean, destroys a train.
It's like Jaws. Fucking, how do you get all these sharks to hate this family? I don't know. Don't question it. Just go back and watch it again.
I didn't know that's how Jaws worked. I've only seen the first one.
Oh yeah, it gets bad. You get into part 3 and part 4.
I heard 3 is terrible.
Well, 3 is if 3 is terrible, then what the hell do you call part 4? Because
there's a 4?
Oh man, there's no good part 4, is there? There's a good part 3 for sure. I think of Indiana Jones off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but a good part 4.
I mean, there are barely any good part 2s. There's some outstanding part 2s, but usually
there's some part 2s that are better than the part 1s.
Empire Strikes Back.
Ace Ventura.
I don't know if I saw the second one.
Oh, it's great. Great.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
We should do some of his movies. He had the ultimate year in 1994. Remember, he had The Mask, he had Ace Ventura, and he had
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, and I think he had one more in 94. Like, wow.
Like the Truman Show or some shit like that.
The Truman Show was like 98.
And Cable Guy was like 96.
Cable Guy was 96. I saw that when I was a senior in high school.
Oh, Liar Liar.
Was that 94 also?
How the fuck do you have that many great movies in one year?
Yeah.
That can't be. I think Liar Liar came out in 1994.
Dude, and I'm not even a fan. I never had a Sega Genesis, played Sonic the Hedgehog. Really, I played it with my friends. I was like, those Sonic the Hedgehog movies are really good. They're super entertaining, and Jim Carrey is so funny in them. And I don't know shit about Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't even care about the stupid video game. They're actually wholesome. They have good morals. They're like family oriented, and there's no nudity, cussing, woke shit. Wow, this is a good movie.
I forgot he's Canadian.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
and he was against all the shots.
Yeah.
Before everyone else, and everyone was calling him and that blonde girlfriend, ex-wife, whatever, calling her a nut job. Turns out they were right. So yeah.
Hold on a second. We got to see this.
We got to get through this movie, dude.
But this is probably the greatest movie year for anybody.
Jenny McCarthy. There you go. Thank you, Jennifer Norwood. All the Fast and Furious suck. I watch them and laugh my ass off. Lucas Leonard. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Didn't the Fast and Furious start off like drag racing and then they ended up on the moon or something like that eventually?
Dude, they literally in part 9 went to space in a car.
All right.
So let's see. In 1994, it was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, I think that was it for 94.
That's
what
insane.
About Liar Liar? No, Liar Liar came out.
Liar Liar was like a year or two later.
Oh, Liar Liar is 97.
Okay.
So yeah, still Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Holy hell.
What? Wow.
Jeez. And then 97 or 95, he did Batman.
Oh,
and that's when Ace Ventura 2 came out. Part 2 of Ace Ventura came out in 95 too. Man, what a run. So from like 94 to 98. Holy hell.
Yeah, it was on fire.
Wow. Did you get those in a career, let alone a year?
Right.
Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura in a year?
I wonder who's had the best box office year in the history of movies. Wow. Like who had like the most #1 movies in 1 year? I'm going to ask Grok. Hold on. Grok. We'll ask good old Grok. Who had the most #1 movies in 1 year? Period. Meaning that it was #1 at the box office for at least 1 week. Grok's going to give me an answer here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Determining who had the most #1 movies in a single year, meaning films that top the box office for at least 1 week, requires looking at the historical box office data. Yeah, no shit. Just tell me. Oh, here we go. One standout example is Jim Carrey in 1994.
Man.
That year, he starred in 3 films that each hit #1 at the box office for at least 1 week: Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. However, without exhaustive weekly data for every year since the advent of modern box office tracking, circa 1980s, it's tricky to definitively crown a single record. Harrison Ford was Star Wars and Indiana Jones. That's true. What else? 81 with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Eddie Murphy, 87 on Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Coming to America. Let's see. I guess it's Jim Carrey. We already found the GOAT. That's it. There you go.
Good run, man. Imagine the stress he was under and the schedule he had. What, probably with the year leading up to filming all that stuff?
I think the second closest one, I think the highest box office star of all time is Harrison Ford. I think his career's made more money than anyone else's career. I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere. And just think like 1980, he would have had Empire Strikes Back and like Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Both of them that year, right? Isn't Raiders
81?
I don't know. I thought it was 80. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 81. Let's see. Who cares? Who cares? It is getting so
81.
Late. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Actors come to town. We're gonna make this brief, guys. Wyatt Earp, this lady, she gives him the ohos. Oh, dude, I gotta tell you, let's go on another tangent.
Oh, here we go.
I went to this Thai restaurant in town. So good, family-owned Thai restaurant. Get the yellow chicken curry. Get the Chinese sausage fried rice. It's getting the same thing there for like 9 years of my life. So I went to eat there. So good. But as we were walking in, a young Latina woman covered in tattoos gives me the ohos from behind her steering wheel. She gave me the look like, you get over here and give me that phone. She said, you get over here and spin me around and draw me.
Draw me naked.
I was like, okay, woof. So I'm like, what was that? Like, you get a look from a lady every once in a while and you are exactly what they're looking for. I don't know. I was just going to dinner with my wife. And we have dinner and this, that, and the other. And then I just tell my wife about it, as one does, to mess with her. I told her after dinner. She looks at me, and my wife, super sweet. Sweeter than honey, super kind. Doesn't raise her voice. Just a demure, wonderful, splendid. Made of sugar and honey, this woman. My wife tells me so. Did you tell her to fuck off?
Whoa!
I didn't tell her anything. I just kept walking with you into dinner, by the way.
Dude, you better sleep with one eye open, man.
That's what she told me. Dude, she wasn't mad at me. She's mad at this floozy that was giving me the ohos.
Yeah.
But no, she doesn't.
Tell that bitch to fuck off.
Well, I didn't do anything. I'm just, I'm aware of the effect I have on women. Just walking down the side.
Can't remember which comedian said it, but he said you ever had a woman look at you the way like a lion looks at prey.
That's how it was.
Yeah, there's no question.
It's, they're kind of looking over their eyebrows like that, It's just,
whoa! You almost want to like grab your coat and bring it in tighter to you.
Like they're addressing me with their eyes.
Stop it, pervert.
Yeah.
Yep. Women are something else.
Yeah. No, but to my wife's credit, she's not a crazy woman. Every woman is at least some crazy, but my wife is the minimum. And so she doesn't get mad at me if things like that happen at all. She holds me harmless. I didn't do anything. I'm just walking down the street being muscular and 6'4".
Yeah, she's
or just being me walking down the street being a successful business owner who's very tall and articulate and strong.
I don't think she got that from a glance. Your level of intelligence.
Oh, you can.
Looks smart.
He's smart. He walks like a smart guy.
No, he stands up straight.
He doesn't walk like a dumb guy. Just like walking down the street like a dummy.
Yeah, he looks straight, not down. Yeah, this guy is a fucking genius.
Oh my goodness, it was funny though, because just if you knew my wife and how sweet she's like, did you tell her to fuck off?
You tell her to eat shit and die.
Like yikes!
Whoa, let's get you home.
Yeah.
We still got some of that.
Let's get you home while you're still excited.
You are fired up. We'll take this to go.
Pack this up. Pack up the curry. Pack it up. We're leaving.
Fuck it. Just throw cash at them and run out. Fuck it. Keep
Thank you the food. I'll see you next week. Bye. So you forgot your curry.
I'm sure it was going to be awesome. See you later.
You're just running red lights.
No, I look good. Oh, he going home. He going back to the house.
When you got it, you got it.
Fucking got it. If you got it, use it. Damn it.
That's right.
Use it.
Hey, life is short, man.
Fucking
You gotta
sit
just
on
be
that.
old one day, and you gotta cash in when you can.
Sit on all that. Use it.
Yeah. I didn't
Damn
even
it.
have to spin anyone or draw them,
Didn't have to spin, didn't have to draw. Just needed some crazy bitch in a car.
Yeah, but
Thanks,
you got
lady.
it right. They look at you like a piece of meat. And for women, they get it all the time because men, we are not very subtle about this. We kind of, and women do it, but as a guy, it's much more rare. So you remember, like, damn, what was that look?
It sticks with you.
So
yeah, we haven't been getting those kind of looks and comments since we were 16.
Right. Yeah. So when you get them, you're like,
forgive us.
You like this, you cover your cleavage, you pull your shirt up to your neck. Stop it.
Hand me, I need one of those. I need one of those things they put around you when you get an X-ray.
Right.
Fucking keep that gaze off of me. Jeez,
I mean, can you imagine someone looking like you? It's nighttime, so it's dark, and you feel something when someone's looking at you. You look over, and in the windshield of someone's car, holding their steering wheel, looking at you. If it was a dude, you would think they were a serial killer.
Yeah.
Like
a gazelle on the Serengeti. They're chewing and then they pop up.
You get that feeling on your neck, like, who's looking at me? Like, oh,
something's about to happen. About the chase, and I've seen National Geographic. I know what's about.
Yeah, it was really funny to me. I don't know, whatever. That's the thing about like being married. Like you don't give a shit. So all that intimidation you had of like, talking to girls and blah blah blah. Like you have such ease with women once you're married because you don't care. There's zero stakes. You just talk to them like whatever. I'm not trying to date you. Like I don't give a shit. So I don't know.
I don't give a fuck, slut.
Yeah. Anyway, the acting troupe comes to town. And this lady here, this is why I told the Oho story. She is given a sort of married man, common law married, Wyatt Earp, the Ohos.
He's with a woman. He's with a
woman committed to the laudanum addict.
To the fucking junkie whore.
And she was a former prostitute, so he must have met her at the
Dude,
whorehouse.
how do you get past that, man? That thing is beat up. It looks like carne asada. And you're like, no, I want to fucking commit to you. What?
I don't know.
You can find a former school teacher or something. You had to find a former prostitute.
I feel like heading out west after the Civil War, there were probably a lot of dudes and not a lot of women. And you probably kind of had to take what you could get, dude. I went up to the mining town by my house. I love to go to it, Julian. It's about an hour outside of San Diego. It's up in the hills, like 5,000, 6,000 foot elevation. Beautiful mountain town. It's an old gold mine from the 1800s. And into the 30s, I think they went in the 1930s. And there was historical stuff. I have it on my computer. I could probably find it. Old ads, many in the paper there that they ran 100 years ago, more 150 years ago. Wife wanted. My name is John Smith. I own an apple orchard in Julian, California, and I would like a wife, preferably, 16 to 20 years old. I'm 33, blah blah blah. And there's like ads, like, please send me a wife from back east. So you got a lot of dudes coming out here because it's super dangerous. Not a lot of women. So I think you could not be that choosy with ladies back then, unless you brought one from Boston with you. So.
You talk about sweaty palms waiting for her to fucking come over the mountain. You're like, oh shit, what did I get? Holy hell. But dude, why would he choose a former prostitute? You know how many
a hooker with a heart of gold.
But you know how many pungent prairie
Jericho, I can save her. I can change her, Jericho.
Yeah, I'll save her, but that vagina has to go. We got to swap that out.
He was the OG Captain Save-A-Ho.
Ooh, no, we got to swap that out, dude. That thing has seen too many visitors. I can't do it.
Was he the one guy who thought the stripper loved him?
Oh, for sure. I had a buddy
he was
like
a badass,
that.
though. A badass guy wouldn't fall for that nonsense.
But he's a badass in some ways, but obviously not others.
This was his one blind spot.
A former prostitute? No, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Wyatt Earp. Come on,
I cannot. Dude, there have been too many handprints on that.
Look at the chin on this guy, by the way. The chin on this guy?
It's chiseled. I think it was chiseled out of granite.
I was looking at his hair. Damn, I was jealous. He's got another fucking Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone.
That's why they made him wear a hat for most of the movie, so all the female cast members wouldn't fucking pass out from repeated orgasms. No, like all the women were just laying on the ground.
He's a good looking dude. He looks like a Wyatt Earp. He looks like a tough guy.
Yeah, this is Kurt Russell, probably 43, 44 years old. You know that's a man's
masculinity.
That's a man. Okay, you're young in your 20s. Yeah, you look good, but your bones haven't hardened. 30s, whatever. But your 40s, that's a man's peak. That's when he looks his best.
Right.
And this is Kurt Russell. Yeah, he's probably 43, 44. Not a lot of wrinkles. Still, not a lot of gray hair. But you know something. You've been doing something, maybe for 20 years or more at this point. Yeah, this is cold right here.
I told you this last year. I ripped that tree out of my backyard. I'm 46. I still lift weights 4 times a week. I walk twice a day. I keep in shape. I eat good. But I'm not the 20-year-old, jump out the gym, slam dunk a basketball. I haven't slam dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim in years. But I'm still strong and I can still move, whatever. I'm only in my mid-40s. But I ripped a tree stump in the backyard. My son was back there with the pick and with this and with that. I went outside, bent over, stuck my hands under the roots that my son had exposed, and just deadlifted it out of the ground like the Incredible Hulk or something. My wife talked about it for 2 days.
Like, well, got to get you home.
I overheard her telling someone about it. So he just ripped it out of the ground.
Get it together, lady.
Calm down.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
But it was so funny just because I didn't think anything. I was like, well, the stump needs to go. It's bothering me in the backyard. We cut the tree down. We got this ugly stump here, so I'll rip it out. My poor son had been working on it for like an hour, and I went out there and just
loosened it up.
I gave it what for. To be fair,
I got all the glory.
It up for me, but I got all the glory, right?
I got all the glory. Thanks, son.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for what?
Yeah, it's like when the running back gets tackled at the 2, but then they put a different running back in and he
that's so
it.
Fucked up.
Like, coach, you gotta let the guy that ran 40 yards to the 2-yard line.
Dude, that should be a rule. That should be a rule.
Yeah.
You give that guy an opportunity to finish, man. That's
so maybe my son really is the one that got it all out, and it was hard. It was hard to rip it out, but I got it out. So,
and that sometimes happens to the starting running back too. I've seen that too. The backup comes in, dude, 2 yards, punches it in.
All right. Nothing about it. I'll take them from there, son.
Yeah. But I almost got it out of there. No, I got it. Thank you.
Get your own wife, buddy.
Yeah. Mom in the window? Yeah.
Here, let me take my shirt off. It's kind of hot out.
It's not that hot. Shut up, son. Trying to lay a foundation here, man. Yeah. Watch and learn.
I'm setting up the evening, son. Watch how it's done.
He's like, that's weird. Mom never has your dinner right when you walk in the door. Huh. Yeah.
It was funny though to hear a woman like that, like talking about it literally like 2 days later. Mm-hmm. He just ripped it out of the ground.
So here, you kids go to the movies. Get out. Mom, boy, I gotta get it.
You come home, your wife has dug a pit in the backyard, buried herself halfway in the ground.
Pull me out. No problem.
Now rip that stump out.
I told you don't call it a stump. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, damn it. Geez.
Again, I just feel sorry for everyone dating. You have so much fun being married. It's the best.
Fuck all that.
It's the best.
Starting from scratch every fucking week, going back to the meat market.
And they're weird, or they got all this baggage,
and you don't know about it yet.
You're paying for what their fucking boyfriend did last time.
Yeah, you don't even know about the baggage yet. You have no idea. We know our wives' families, all the kids and the cousins and the grand. We know everybody. We know how deep this crazy goes.
Yeah.
But you have no idea. You don't know what you're fucking walking.
No, my brother, my poor brother. He's a year and a half older than me. Divorced for like 9 years. He's been dating for 8, 9 years, whatever. He just fucking tells me this is the worst shit, dude. Just oh yeah, it's great. And then like later, what happened? Like, she's fucking nuts, blah blah blah. And,
you know what I wouldn't do?
No.
You know what? I would fucking lose my shit if I were a single guy. You meet a girl, and let's say you're a grown man. Let's say you're like 35, 40 years old, or you're our age, right? We're back out in the wild, our current age, and you meet this woman, and she goes, "Oh, I want you to meet my family." And you show up, and she has like 4 brothers, a dad, and they're like giving you this shit like you're 17, picking her up for prom. I'd be like, "Fuck this! I'm not too old for this bullshit."
Right.
You're gonna fucking size me up right now, motherfucker. Man, that would suck. Having to meet someone's parents and their family for the first time. That's for the fucking birds. I did that years ago.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that again. Or they got kids.
That didn't happen. My wife, she's got a brother, and of course a dad. He's still around. And But her parents were divorced too when we knew each other in high school, so I never saw the dad because she lived with her mom. So I never saw the dad. I see him, occasionally now, whatever. Don't really know him, but never got chastised by any male relative.
But that, shaking your hand extra tight, shit like that.
Can we, by the way, men out there that you want to shake someone's hand and squeeze the piss out of it, would you fuck off? I don't think you're tough. I think you're a bonehead when you do that. Firm handshake, yes, respect. Don't be trying to flex people's knuckles and hurt their hand.
That's when you take your middle finger and tickle their fucking palm.
Right. Do you know how insecure I think you are if you give me the crusher, dude? Like, shut up.
Get the fuck out of here.
You probably have truck nuts if you like to squeeze people's hands.
Yeah, okay, you squeeze my hand tight. Now what?
Oh, okay. Okay, killer.
Now what? Are you the alpha wolf? Am I supposed to put my head down and whimper and fucking put my ass up in the air for you?
Roll over and show my belly to you.
That's the handshake equivalent to somebody peeling out. Like, oh, fuck, dude. You burned out at the strip mall. Fuck.
Damn, dude. That guy burned out in front of the Jersey Mike's, bro.
Babe, where you going, babe? Don't go to him. No.
What about, like, you're in a Shell gas station in Yuma, Arizona, and some gangsters tag the hand dryer.
Fuck, dude.
Oh, man, we better get out of here.
Let's get the
Vatos Locos run this urinal, dude. Let's get out of here.
Somebody tag the debit card screen.
Oh, no.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's run.
Kids, let's go.
Someone tagged the fucking bathroom at the Chevron.
Hey.
We gotta get out of here.
I'll tell you this, man, and this might sound weird coming from a person with my skin tone, but I thought this shit was hilarious. And I was very nostalgic. Remember people writing shit in the stall in the bathroom? Like there would just be notes from fucking however many people have sat there and taken a shit or a piss. All these things, phone numbers, jokes, drawings. The drawings are always good. Always tits, dicks.
Right.
Something like that. It was never like a sunshine or a fucking meadow or a mountain range. It was always, dirty shit, which is great. But I went into a public bathroom a couple months ago, and somebody had put the N-word on there. And I fucking laughed. I just thought that shit was so funny. Like, this is the environment. This is the bathroom stall in a public bathroom. This is where you're going to see people just trying to write crazy shit on there. Right. It's just I thought it was hilarious.
I wish I could find it easily, but I have thousands and thousands of pictures on my computer here in front of me. But when I take a picture on my phone, I copy them to my computer eventually. I was driving up to your neck of the woods to visit my mom or something. And I stopped at Murray Farms in Bakersfield to get these delicious empanadas and stuff. Guys, I'm calling it audible. We're not going to finish the movie tonight. This is a good movie and it deserves respect. We're going to pick up this movie on the next episode.
If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm not going to speed run this whole movie. I want to talk about this movie. We're on a tangent this week. So sorry. So we'll do this next episode. We'll get this movie. We promise. But dude, one of the funniest things I ever saw. I went in the bathroom at Murray Farms and I was standing in front of the urinal taking a piss, and right on the wood molding that's that 5 foot high little molding there, someone had written in pencil really small. I'm like, what did I say? It said, "Nice balls, bro." I laughed so hard. I'm like, what does that say? You're taking a picture. What?
Dude, it's so funny.
Why do people tag the bathroom? It's the stupidest thing on
people
earth.
Are hilarious. People are funny. I love it, man.
I think it's funny.
I don't know. I don't think women do that. I've never been into a woman's stall, but chicks
wasn't
don't
there
do
a thing
that,
like they'd write some girl's phone number on the wall, or?
But that's like some junior high
like
shit.
They would pick on each other somehow by writing nasty things or
But
something.
in a women's public bathroom, gas station or whatever, like people don't write on the stall, do they?
When I was a little kid, like my stepdad had to pay some ticket or do something. We went to the courthouse, and it was probably some criminal degenerate piece of shit. Wrote some really, really explicit sexual things on the inside of the shitter. And I was 8 or 9 and I read it and I didn't know what it meant at all, but it was so disturbing. Now that I'm an adult, it was such a horrible impression on me. I could quote it to you. I will not. That's how foul it is.
Jeez.
I can quote it to you right now. But as a kid, I read it. I'm like, what does that mean? It just sounded awful and scary.
Oh, yeah. That's probably some teenager.
Whoever you are that wrote that, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. How dare you?
Probably a teenager.
It was so disgusting. It was just graphic and long. Like they wrote a lot, dude. It was like they wrote a novel up there. It was not good. So, yeah. So, but hey, we all enjoy Laughing with you guys movie tonight. Yeah, we let you down tonight on the movies, but this movie's too good because I was going to speed run it. I'm like, no, this is like a good movie. I don't want to do that. So we'll come back with a part 2 of this. Not next week, though. I am indisposed next Wednesday evening. I will not be available for the show. I have a prior engagement. So it'll be 2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from tonight, we will do this movie proper. We'll pick up right here. We'll pick up on the steely-eyed sex symbol of
great place to start.
Yeah, we'll pick up right there. And we'll probably get 5 more pictures in before I completely derail the show. So
let's try to get 6, and then we'll
derail it. This will be a 9-part saga where we go through this movie. So, but yeah, I don't know. I was just in the mood to just really blow off steam and talk. I've been working like a madman the last 2 weeks. I've been writing comic book pages. I was telling the audience at the beginning of the show, so the way, and you know, Jericho, I've explained it to you before, I write a script, but I don't write what the people are saying. I don't write dialogue almost at all. I write a little if I have to make the story make sense. But I just write mood. I write directly what happens. He does this. He wants this. He lies to her about this. But I don't do the dialogue. I wait till I finish the illustrations, or if I hire someone, they finish them. And then they interpret my script, and then they add to it. They say, oh, okay, Gabe wants this. What if the guy poked the guy and then laughed at him because blah, blah, blah. So then I'll look at the drawings and go, oh. So with my story and then these drawings, this is what they're saying. And it's such a fun, rewarding experience. I've been doing that for 2 weeks straight. I finished my 120 pages. I finished that today. So that's why I'm in a mood to just I don't think I'm going to work tomorrow. I think maybe I'll go to Mexico and have some tacos. We'll go to Tijuana or something like that. I think I'm going to take the day off tomorrow because I've been writing day and night. But it's come out gorgeous. This is Empyrean, my sci-fi comic book. So then I got to get back to drawing Tyrus tomorrow if I work tomorrow. Then news going forward. So I like doing these 120-page comics, but I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I think starting with Dean Cain Volume 2, I'm going to go to 60 pages, and here's why. So I could do them more often. If I do a 120-page comic, it's like a 7 to 9 month proposition, and you guys have to wait so long. So if I do Dean Cain Volume 2 as a 120-page book, you're going to have to wait till March to get it because I won't finish it till November, not in time to get it to you by Christmas because the printer takes a month. So I finished November, I sent it to the printer. I had lunch with my printer on Friday. She came to San Diego. She took me out to lunch with my wife, and I don't go to lunch with women alone. So I wouldn't do that. No, you don't. That's not smart. Don't do that. And not that there's anything wrong with my printer lady. It's just a policy of mine. I'm not doing that. So she took my wife and I out. She's real nice. She's taken us out before. And we were talking about the Dean Cain book and my Tyrus book, my sci-fi book, the books I'm doing with Jericho. I'm like, I need to do these as 60 pagers because that I can finish in 3 months, then print it 4 months, bang, you'll get it right away. And because Dean Cain, you got it last year, a year ago, April. If I do 120-page volume 2, you're going to have to wait till next March or April because I'll finish November, not in time for Christmas, and then you can't sell anything in January, February. People don't have any money because of Christmas. So the earliest I would put it on sale is March, like a year from now. Mm-hmm. But if I do a 60-page Dean Cain starting in like June, we could probably put it on sale in like maybe September, October, something like that. So I think going forward, I'm going to do 60-page comics. Let me know what you think, anyone in the chat, if you have an opinion on this. I want to send out an email to the thousands of people on my email list and ask them what they think. But I think going forward, instead of doing 1 book a year, 120 pages, I'll do 2 per title. So like 2 Tyrus books, 2 Dean Cain books. I think I'll do that because I could turn them around faster. And then they'd be a lower price. You know what I mean? If it's 60 pages instead of 120, so we could drop the price a little bit. So I am Middle Eastern after all. So, but I don't know. What do you think of that? I think that's a better deal. That way people can get it more often. They'll get a shorter story, but they won't have to wait as long, so.
That makes sense, man. Any way to get to the product, to the consumer faster and maintain the quality, why not?
Yeah. So, So, I've got a good team. I've got a third guy I'm engaging in. So I've got 1 illustrator, 2 illustrators, if you count me. And then I have about 3 colorists that I'm dealing with right now. So, and then I have an assistant colorist guy. So Big Man Comics is doing well. We're growing. Things are going well. We're doing controlled growth. I don't want to do anything stupid, do anything too fast, and then waste money or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun. But Empyrean should be here very soon. I know I've been saying that forever. There were some delays that were beyond my control. But the guy that was had the problems. He's been a real trooper, and he went through a lot. I don't want to say it's personal stuff. He went through some real bad stuff the last few months, but he's done a great job making the book look fantastic. So very happy to get the dialogue done for that book.
Yeah, looking forward to Imperium. My son, he reread Dean Cain, All-American Lawman yesterday.
Yeah? Oh, yes. Awesome.
Yep.
He loved it. I remember he really loved it. So that I was just tickled by that.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah. So
yeah, more and more and more.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 60-page books. That way they could be more often. I think that's the move. You know, I think that that's the way I will go.
Good idea.
I don't know. So yeah, I think I'll just call it a show here, unless you just want to keep talking about nonsense. But yeah, I think because if we do the rest of this movie, we're going to be here till 1:30 in the morning, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to rush it and be done in an hour. So we kind of painted ourselves in a corner. So
sure did.
So yeah. So okay, guys. Is there anything you need to promote or anything like that? Or
no, you guys know where to find me. So find me.
All right, guys. I'm Big Man Comics on X, and I'm Gabe El Taib on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You see how to spell it right there. It's a little bit of a funny spelling. It's an Arabic last name, by the way. And hit the like, hit the share, and all that. Sorry we let it go this week. We will pick it up 2 weeks from tonight. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night, guys. Bye.